Most recently in our adventure, the Forsaken Winds had left behind the landscape of the Barrens, arriving at Mythindil, Grey's End, home of one of the great houses of Telperian's elvish people, House Thantawar, the Ashwood Elves. You discussed your experiences with House Leader Elena Moorwing, tapped her knowledge of forests and Fae and Shadow, as well as having Rome utilizing her Dew of Galathor to commune with the essence of the great El Tree of the Feywild, gathering glimpses of wisdom about her kin, the other Mytholine, to consider what aid they might be able to give in the future. Eventually, you determined that the best way forward for the Citadel in the Barrens, where you came from, would be to have the corrupted ritual dismantled and destroyed rather than risking a long-term restoration effort that would not guarantee results and would certainly result in further damage to the forest in the meantime. After these conversations, the Selithar alerted you all to the arrival of two wood elven refugees of a small village to the northwest. Due to many of your efforts in softening the Ithilwinge's usually defensive seclusion, they were actually welcomed into Mythindil to recover. And you all spent the night carousing with the local Ashwood elves and getting to know these wood elves. Fennin, a tall, live, lynx characteristic woman, and a young boy in his 11th year, very young for an elf, Yuri. Supposedly, through some slightly enhanced telepathy, you found out that their village of Aenalad, Eldervale, had seemingly been ransacked and destroyed by likely weird fire by Durast, possibly the forces currently occupying Forest Hollow, considering that their village seems uniquely close to that location, and more specifically the location of the old Elealor ruins you had discovered in the past, where the population of Forest Hollow currently shelters. And we pick back up now in the morning of Sundas, the 10th of Evening Star, as House Leader Elena has just left you all to discuss amongst yourselves whether you'd be willing to aid Fennin and Yuri while the Ashwood Elves begin their trek into the Barrens to start tending to the ritual there, meeting your Villian allies, and beginning preparations for the upcoming war moot. What would you all like to do in this morning?
Oh, guys, do we know how long it's gonna take? Like, tell Piran, how long is it gonna take for your elf friends to make it all the way to the Citadel?
Was it like a 2-day walk that we skipped over?
We had to get ourselves really high to soar. So that puts us, I think we said 20 or something miles.
You guys covered about 20 miles in functionally an hour. 20 miles is usually what a normal day's travel takes in normal terrain. You guys were kind of hindered in your Barrens travel because of the thick, sludgy ground and otherwise harsh climate and atmosphere. But it's possible that an elvish culture would be able to traverse that in a day, maybe day and a half.
All right, so we got a day and a half. We could go solve the problem for our new friends, which I promised us to do. So there's that also. And then just take off from there. We can fly all the way back and meet up with the elves. Bing, bang, boom. Easy.
We also can give them a little while to like tend to the problem. I don't think they needed us to dismantle the ritual, right?
Well, they might need us.
I think Lady Morwing was fairly confident, especially with, Roulette's notes. Accurate sketches rather than the crude drawings we would have provided.
I think first step, Jiri, I think we can head back to this village of these two folks and figure out what they got, and then Toby, you can get in touch with whoever's leading the way over to the enchantment thing and see what their progress is.
And King Mordecai had said that they were planning to send some parties into the Barrens, so I should at least give them a heads up on both ends that they might encounter each other, and that's to be expected.
Oh, tell her before they leave.
Also, we have to give this balm to Fennin that we were working on, Toby.
Speaking of, I would like to try something this morning, and if this doesn't work, I would like to see if by the end of the day I could try something else. And if Fennin is around, I would like to try to cast Lesser Restoration on her. Perhaps with an extra Cure Wounds or something to see if I can help repair her throat.
Sure. You're able to locate her in her sort of bunk room that she's spending time with Yuri in. Having kind of breached that wall barrier of comfort on the previous night, she will allow you to try your magic. You go ahead and cast Lesser Restoration.
I do.
You definitely see some of the scarring shrink slightly and sort of become more healthy looking skin toward the edges, but that alone has not rid her of the problem. But you do see it has an effect. So whatever this, what I would consider a permanent damage or a lingering wound, so to speak, will require more than instantaneous healing. But you've definitely affected its restoration effort.
And Toby and I had worked together. I remember rolling, but I didn't write down what we rolled, but we used that one second level or second tier enchantment water and then some like herbs and such. And we weren't doing a regular brew, but gonna make a salve. And I was kind of, she had said she wanted it. She would like, so I was hoping to make this one for her request, like talking with her. She said she'd want it to be better for her throat. So like, I think we started making it and then kind of pivoted it towards like something that could end to that speaking issue.
Yeah, you guys definitely, I think working in tandem, I think each of you had a role. And I think it went fairly well. You definitely created a functional salve utilizing a higher tier ingredient as part of its creation. You just have yet to apply it. If someone wants to apply it, they're welcome to.
Yeah, I'll go with Toby and offer to apply that.
Okay, go ahead and make a medicine check.
15.
15. Okay. You apply the salve and it sort of sits there. It doesn't immediately magically soak into the skin or anything, but it has been applied.
I think just leave that there for some time. We'll hope that it works.
She thinks to you. Thank you, kind elf.
We're going to go keep making preparations, but I think the general conversation is that we'll be escorting you back to the ruins where we have hoped to have people, and we can talk from there maybe about if we're going to survey the town you left behind.
Thanks back. Thank you. I'm eager to see if there are any survivors in that landscape, as well as possible supplies we might recuperate for our use. I've been thinking a bit about the journey, and it is no small distance. We covered it over 3 days' travel, but we were aimlessly wandering for a bit with no intent goal in mind. I suspect with a day's travel north, we can breach the forest and arrive at the coast of the Arbor Lock. And then another day's travel westward along the coast should be easier travel and will put us within a mile or so of Ayenalad.
2 days total. Sorry, I just want to. It was 1 day to get out, and then
Chris, would you mind showing us this on the map?
You bet.
Thank you.
Map.
Yeah.
So you guys currently reside here at the sort of home settlement of House Thantawar. Fennin was suggesting a day's travel northward, maybe a little northwestward. You guys could hit the coast. She would likely be able to, as wood elves, they can probably ease some of your travel in that forest terrain and make it more seamless than it usually is. But then, assuming you can arrive there in a day, she thinks you can arrive to the westward location of Aenalad in another day's travel. Yes, that is a rather unique route to take, but functionally.
I want to check out that island at some point. But thank you, I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, and I figure at this point I've left Fennin and gone back with the group. I just realized something. We have that necklace, right? The Raven's Slumber.
Yeah, Toby's got it.
What if, worst case scenario, we're traveling with a child who has seen war? We could, like, if we need to prevent him from seeing something, we should probably check ahead of time and show them how it works and warn them. Maybe one of us go in it to show them. It would be fine, but it could be a way to keep that child safe.
Ooh, or like a blindfold.
So Baron, I agree with that. We should have show them that the not lock it safe and have the child at least test it out and get a feel for it beforehand. That's a good idea. We could do that. I'd say we could do that on our walk once we get out of here.
Yeah. Is there anything we want to trade that we've acquired? I don't even remember. Did we acquire anything that's worth trading away? If there's anything anyone wanted to try to find here before we go.
At some point in the morning, I'm gonna grind up 25 more gold for my thing.
Okay.
I wanted to do 3.
Perfect.
Steve, I have a question for you. Did you repaired Alfie after he was destroyed? Is that correct?
I did, yes. So essentially, I did it by way of like expending a page in the Tome of the Dragon's Hoard. I just stored him in there, and then when I released him, I imbued him with some magic to bring him back to life, back to his normal self. Yeah.
I like to think that when his dismantled body was in the book as scrap metal, you were like drawing notes and stuff that were like kind of becoming real. So you're fixing him by drawing a bit, sketching.
We divvied up all the gold that we took, right?
I believe so.
Did that, and we didn't have. Oh, I guess we have gemstones. So if there's anything you all wanted to see, we have some gemstones you could trade. I don't know if they have very impressive markets here, but they might have something.
Oh, Toby, do you need any of the gemstones? Like, I got emerald powder that I found, but I don't know what you need for your spells.
I have the diamond, the rose-colored diamond.
Diamond.
Everything else was fair game for selling, keeping, ornamenting.
We never tested what the emerald dust did we? Did it feel magical, Jiri, or does it just powdered gemstone?
Looks like tiny pieces of emerald. I was thinking about, like, covering myself in it, you know.
Why don't you...
Or selling it.
Why don't you just have Roulette see if it was magical first, before you just cover yourself in it?
Okay, Roulette. If this is magical, I'm going to cover myself in it. If it's not, we'll sell it.
I'm trying to see if... Oh, okay, I still have Identify. I don't think I changed anything else. I kept Fairy Fire, Identify. Yeah. I will virtually cast Identify on whatever Jiri is handing me.
It's a bag of, like, emerald dust.
Oh, yeah.
You can remove a bag of emerald dust from your inventory and add Dust of Disappearance. Roulette, as soon as your focus sort of enhances on this, you definitely see it glow with a pulse of magic, and you almost see the dust itself disappear as you're looking at it, but you know it's still there.
Ooh. Was there... I feel like there's other objects we have that... I have pin, armor, and amethyst. The amethyst was the necklace. The armor was the elven armor. What was the pin?
brooch for Rome's acid claws.
Oh yeah. But then I also have a brooch and a blanket.
Yeah,
The blanket was the bedroll.
The brooch was discovered as part of that shadow investigation further in the forest, which is the Banewood brooch used by Rome. The pin was a sort of signifying Certa Mora.
That's the thing
identification pin that Toby used.
Okay.
The
blanket is the super warm, clean blanket.
Yeah, I just put that in my inventory because I didn't know.
Perfect.
I don't know if anyone had that in their inventory, but I knew we owned it.
I had those 5 things, and I want to make sure I knew what it was. Okay, awesome.
So what's the verdict? Is Jerry going to put all this dust on himself?
DM, I'm assuming this is like a one-time lesser invisibility use.
It is, but it's also can affect multiple creatures. So if you guys look up the Dust of Disappearance, you guys can determine who's holding it, likely Jiri if it's his item.
Jiri, you got it.
But it can functionally, I think, hide a few creatures for up to maybe 2d4 minutes. I forget exactly how the wording of it works, but no concentration required, but otherwise normal invisibility.
2d4 minutes, yeah.
This would be perfect for like a play.
Oh, each creature and object within 10 feet of you. So this is just like a sparkle time.
Wait, Jerry, don't you think that this would be great for like trying to sneak us into Daniel?
No, Jerry, hold on for that. We gotta use that to rescue Gene.
Oh yes, perfect for sneaking Gene out. Good idea, guys.
I'd like to go check out the market here, just see if it's just the most rudimentary stuff or like something because
me as well. I would like to tag along.
Okay. Well, each of you could roll, and let me move back to our map of that place. Each of you could roll an investigation or charisma check of your choice.
Investigation.
I will roll a charisma check. Would that be persuasion or just base charisma?
Your choice. It could be persuasion if you like.
I athletics check it.
Yeah, you can climb trees. Might not help anything, but
I was just looking at Steve's investigation compared to mine, and it's like, what's my one stat that I have? Is it my athletics that I need?
The only strength skill.
I know. I need to start figuring out more uses for it.
With that, you all probably guided by Roulette, who can clearly identify, that structure, I know it's Elven, but that structure looks like it would hold the barracks and smithy. That's probably where the clothier is. Jiri had kind of done a sweep of the city previously, but you're able to quickly identify things, and Telperion and Toby can otherwise assist. You're able to find various buildings here. Indeed, very rudimentary commerce here, mostly self-sufficient village supplies, probably minimal gold for purchasing travelers selling equipment, but some. There are no jewelers, there are no magic shops. Some of the luxurious vendors you guys have interacted with in the past do not exist here.
I'll still inquire, but likely rules out powdered silver and incense, I would imagine. I would also like to keep an eye out for any ivory around for sale. I don't know if that also falls in the realm of...
You know what? With Roulette's incredibly high investigation check, I'll say that you guys, during this effort of trying to supply, shop, or sell, you also catch Elena Morwing moving throughout the city, who mentions to you as she sees you guys shopping that she has a few components available to her for spellcasting means that she's willing to sell you if you're looking for powdered silvers, incenses, holy waters, things like that, that she has a connection to a deity as well as part of her natural oath she has sworn to protect this land, and has some availabilities.
Yeah, so any amount of incense in quanta of 25 gold piece worth, and then any ivory strips. Looking for 50 gold piece worth strips.
incense itself, unless you're looking for high quality incense, basic incense will run you 2 silver to buy a few small sticks from her.
Basically free.
Yeah, but not significant enough for my spell casting.
Yeah, she doesn't have highly potent rare incenses.
Okay. Anything on the ivory front?
Yeah, she has some basic ivory components. How much are you looking for?
At its lowest, like 50 gold piece. Like if she has
I think she could provide you. I think she could provide you 50 gold worth of ivory strips.
Awesome.
DM, while Elena is talking to Toby, I would also like to ask her, out of character, I want to be able to know what the druid spell list is up to level 3. And knowing that she deals with natural magic, I want to, in some way, shape, or form, ask her for like, hey, do you keep like notes or something? Can you give me your notebook?
What I will say is, out of character, Steve, you can look up Oath of the Ancients Paladin because she is not a druid, but she does have access to a few druidic spells.
Oh,
so any of the spells that are granted to an Oath of the Ancients Paladin, I think like Entangle, Ensnaring Strike, some of the basic ones like that. If that's on her list, she will give you some explanations of those magics.
Perfect.
We got any magical water in this town?
There is an herbalist who works closely with all the grove tenders that can definitely sell you some supplies. What are you looking for?
I'm out of magic water entirely. So basic magic, vials of magic to be made into potion components. And I guess I'm curious if they have anything of interest, like spell, or potion recipe wise or component wise.
They sort of describe that virtually anything magical they're able to produce immediately goes toward the Celethar or house leader Elena for use in the restoration effort. They don't have in stock magical potions available, but they can definitely sell you supplies. Let me pull up my crafting notes. Depending on what you're wanting, they can definitely sell you some tier 1 magical potion making supplies.
Okay. I got maybe 3 vials of that water.
For 3, that's to make it so the cost.
I think the cost generally has been 25. The health potion's worth about 50.
So it's material cost to make a default healing potion is 25 gold. Other tier 1 potions are 100 gold. Healing's sort of the most basic one. So if you're hoping for 3 healing potion components, 75 gold.
Okay.
Few supplies bought so far.
I tip an extra 5, so I'm going to give him 80.
Okay, perfect.
So I'll give him 8 platinum because I like these things. Oh no, 80 gold better. Oh, I just added.
Anything else from anyone? Okay. Well, at some point, you guys are able to sort of around mid morning, sort of come back together toward the guest residences, and you see that Yenin and Yuri are supplied, stocked up, have slings over their shoulder with basic rations and supplies, water skins. You see Fennin is holding sort of a walking stick staff, and thanks to you, Telperion, when you enter, I do not mean to rush you all, but we are ready to escort you all northward as soon as you're ready.
I think we're ready now. Just as like a default, anything Fennin thinks to me, I'll just share out loud as a courtesy to to her, to the whole group, instead of just maintaining conversations by myself with her.
Perfect.
But are we ready to go, everybody? I came to do what we needed to do.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I guess we'll probably look for a land
Anything-
before we head off.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask anything from Rome or Jiri before we head out. Still riding the high of knowing everyone in the city really enjoyed your performances last night, so you still have your 1d10 of bardic inspiration you're sitting on.
Yep. While everybody was shopping, Jiri will go and he's gonna try to locate like a bard or a singer, whoever in this town does a lot of like storytelling. I'll ask around until I can find somebody who's notable for being a writer, songwriter, anything like that.
Make a persuasion check. Bam, plus 14. You quickly identify that although there is virtually no troubadours, bards in this town, the individual that runs the meadery, Yelkenin, is a rather distinguished elven man who emphasizes that he has so many patrons rely on him for sort of stress relief every night that he ends up becoming like almost like a bartender would be, just like listens to stories, tells stories back, is just like probably the most versed conversationalist with any tendency for the dramatic flair. So you could definitely establish sort of a conversation with him.
Yeah, I'll bring Rome with me, and Rome, come on, I need you.
I follow Jiri.
And I'll converse with him and Rome and kind of just share the tale of the 4 Winds to this guy and like kind of just play it up as in like give him like pretend like we're giving him the inside scoop as to like what we're really like. Just to try to get him to kind of continue to tell our tale when we leave.
Perfect. You definitely see his eyes sort of alight throughout the telling of the tale. Not sure whether or not his descriptions will have the intended effect necessarily, but you're confident that he really listened to the tale was very captivated by it. Definitely more exciting than the usual folk tales of this hardworking culture.
I will give him the bardic inspiration for the next time that he tells his tale to his patrons.
Wow. Okay.
That's awesome.
That is very cool.
Whoa.
Okay. I'll note that down.
Committed to the bit.
Once Jiri's done with his storytelling, I sneak away to the edge of the forest without him, and I summoned animals and other woodland creatures and cast speak with animals to like tell them of the tale that I just heard from Galathor in an effort to find Merwin, Zephadel, and Harua.
Okay. Go ahead and make an animal handling check. Oh, 21. You definitely see the animals you're conversing with are very receptive to this request by someone just so of the earth in this forest. They don't even bat an eye. They just take your words for it and they scatter.
I'll go back and try and find the rest of the group.
I want to add one thing too. Listening to Tim and Alex interact with the world reminded me that I should be interacting with the world. When I tipped the vendors, kind of like I'm picturing Telperion. So I would be going around a little bit and just like not necessarily just trying to like encourage people, but like trying to just see their hardworking atmosphere and like just be like, this is the first time he's visited this settlement, and so he knows his presence here is not a small thing. So like kind of just like trying to go around and like kind of like friends just be invested in what they're doing a little bit, just like socializing a little bit and encouraging them here or there.
Yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion check and add a +1 to it.
Nice net plus, so total of +0. Nice.
Oh
nice.
no.
That was a 5.
Okay. You kind of realize that, oh, I'm the prince. I'm expected to sort of be an ambassador or a symbol of my family's name here to make sure they know they're not on their own. And you just, even though you've had conversations with your mother, your sister, and father recently, you do this effort. You still have no confidence with sort of being that bastion for your people in a diplomatic sense, rather than go out and fight things, be a warrior to be proud of your that your people can be proud of. So it's still just uncomfortable trying to fit this role that you've never really put much attention toward. But you certainly are able to interact with people, and who knows how they took it. But very cool. Well, with that, are you all interested in setting out for a day of travel?
Yes.
I want to add that Rome is going to start to get into the habit of ritually casting Commune with Nature when we're on these like expeditions, in an effort to foresee any powerful creatures or any other like variety of whatever entity we might encounter, as well as any information that might be helpful for us to know prior to.
Very cool. With a 5th level spell, ritually casting it, so you're not going to burn the spell slot, but it'll take the 1 minute plus a 10 minutes to cast, so 11 minutes. So I just want to get an idea of, gives you knowledge of the land within 3 miles. Yeah, so I don't know if there are questions you can ask as part of this, but if there's any specifics you want to ask me about, I can tell you that. It just might require a couple castings a day to every couple miles get a better understanding of the terrain.
Just like so that I know, can I be moving and ritually casting something? Can we be like currently traveling, or do I have to like stop and do?
Yeah.
Like, I guess my idea was that I wanted to continually be like.
Sure. To me, that's a little bit spell dependent. I wouldn't let someone cast ritualistically teleportation circle while on the move, because that's a very location based effect. However, you walking through your surroundings, interacting with the environment, I think that's absolutely appropriate for ritually casting while walking, like Roulette has done many times for ritualistically identifying on the go. So yeah, absolutely, that's not going to slow travel per se. Definitely gets you some environmental info. So as we sort of gather our things and start moving into the forest, saying any final farewells to House Leader Elena or Captain Din Verdon or the Selethar and people of Mythindil, Fenin and Yuri accompany you. Fenin emphasizes her request to, whatever happens, please protect the boy. She also suggests that she should be able to guide your path very successfully through these woods. She knows them well and has traveled them recently. And then Rome, with your ritualistic casting, are there any bits of info from the spell that you'd like to ask about or try and gather specifics on?
So it says that I can gain knowledge of up to 3 facts. So I'd want to know like more about the type of terrain we're going to encounter, if there are any powerful beings that we will like be in our path, and if there are any like prevalent people or entities that we might encounter.
Okay. So with this travel effort northward, you guys have traveled forest terrain so often, and I didn't want to encumber this session with a bunch more unneeded forest travel. So you'll find that over the course of this day, travel on foot with these 2 wood elven, even the young boy at your side, helps facilitate faster travel. You're not being slowed by difficult forest terrain, and you're able to cover an amount of land that you would in sort of overland travel, which is a big benefit to this space. With For the period of first travel, of the first couple hours or so, I'd like everyone to please make a survival check. But because of Rome's information gathering periodically, you guys can all make that with advantage.
Ooh.
Toby also wants to just generally be within a range of Yuri. I don't want to be crowding him. I don't want to be shadowing him, but I have things in mind like 30 feet. I don't want to let him out of my sight.
Okay.
I also want to. I rolled 2 13s. That's pretty funny. Nice. Within the first like hour, I want to have done something, so it doesn't have to be handled now. But I want to have had the Yuri conversation. So let us know.
Yeah, it can definitely be taking place during this travel and such. So I'll just throw this background on here just for vibes, and I'll take stock of some of these roles, and then you guys are free to have whatever conversations you like. So let's see here. We got Jiri with a 17, looks like. Rome with a 28. Roulette with a natural 20. Toby Rama with a 28. Telperion, is it 13 total, or did you have...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you had 13 with both rolls. Rome. Although Fennin is very adept at leading the effort through this forest terrain, you are able to gather information from a wider swath of land than she is in her immediate vicinity. So you start to identify locations of bogs and swamps where there are muck pits that could assault your travel. You steer your journey away from sort of a blighted area of the forest that you know is infected with sight rot disease. There are multiple nests of bug bats throughout your journey, nesting up in trees that you're able to let Fennin know and your allies we should avoid that terrain. So with that in mind, you guys are all almost going to be avoiding all negative travel hindrances, except for Telperion. As you guys are walking at some point, you guys are crossing an old rotten bridge that seems sturdy enough upon inspection, but as all of you move across, Telperion, you specifically, one of the bridge's wooden slats breaks and you fall 20 feet or so. And I'd like you to make an acrobatics check on the way down.
Okay.
Dum-dum.
Can I use flight? Or is it not?
That's as a bonus action on your turn. That's not really a reactionary thing.
Nat 20.
Nat 20 on the acrobatics check. Very nice. You take
So 21
3
total.
damage. Perfect. You take 3 damage total. Land on your knee. It kind of cracks a little bit, but you right yourself pretty quickly. No damaging issues there. Otherwise, you guys are all able to continue past a sort of area where small waterfalls and a dip in the land has been sort of honed over time as like a clay mining deposit as you guys near the shores to the north. Small waterfalls from tributaries and streams coming off that lake sort of rush down. There's a thick river that runs almost sub-forest that you see down below you, but you guys are able to traverse all of this landscape in the course of a day without suffering exhaustion or any of a number of negative traveling conditions due to Fennin and Rome's assistance in your survival efforts.
Jiri is levitating and gusting himself everywhere he wants to go, so he won't hit the ground the entire time, just floating around.
Very nice. Definitely aiding your travel as well, not having to sink your feet into any muck throughout the journey.
I want to go up to Yuri in the first and Fennin in the first hour and say, all right, so we have a really cool magical object. Yuri, have you ever seen a magical necklace before?
No?
You want to see this one? It's really special. My friend Toby wears it.
Okay. What does
So,
it do?
Watch this, Toby. You can use it on me.
Okay. And swoop, and you can attempt to save against the effect.
I want to tell Yuri, I'll be right back, and then get sucked in.
You disappear, your sort of essence being siphoned into the necklace, and then it pulsing with energy. Tobirama, once more, only to your eyes do you see this sort of ethereal embrace of wings surround Telperion before he disappears. Yuri immediately goes, "Oh! Where'd he go? Is he invisible?"
And I assume often there's some elven miscommunication or lack of for Toby, but Toby will proffer the necklace and be like,
Yuri, he's you see the crystal front of that necklace? Just give him a wave. He can see you from in there. He's got kind of a little resting spot in there, keeps him safe.
Oh! And he waves at Toby's necklace.
all right, so I'm going to let him out, and let's see if he remembers that you waved to him. And I'll shunt Telperion out of it.
Do I have to save, or like, do I have to save to remember?
No, because passage of time and everything is normal for you in there. You can see.
I come out and I'm waving at Yuri.
Whoa, did you see me?
I did. So here's the thing: Toby controls the door to that little magic necklace, so he can pull someone in it. Would you want to try to go in just for a second and come right back out, just like I did?
Sure.
All right.
Yuri, ask your mother first. Oh, ask.
You hear in your head.
Oh, never mind. Thought it was. Never mind. I didn't say anything.
You're gonna feel a little weird pulling on you. Just it's gonna tug you right in. It's kind of like a big hug. And Toby will attempt to bring Yuri into the necklace.
You almost see him like brace himself in fear, but his essence does get siphoned in, and as soon as he disappears, you just, with your passive perception and high insight as a person, you definitely see Fennon's knuckles on her staff white a little bit, as not in aggression or defense, just maybe anxiety and nervousness.
And I'll just say, Telperion, do something for him to...
I'll make us all wave into the thing.
I'll wave back at him.
And then I will maybe like 5 or 10 seconds, just so it's not in, out, and too overstimulating, but allow Yuri to come out.
Reappears. Oh, I saw you guys! Fennon, did you see that? Did I disappear? Yes, little one.
I'll say that
thinks
for her.
to Telperion, yeah.
So, Yori, here's the trick. If some monster came at us as we were walking through the woods, or something bad happened, we want to put you in there just to keep you safe. And as soon as the coast is clear, we're going to let you out. Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah.
Is that okay with you too, Fennon?
She thinks, if that is something that lends safety to the boy's survival, of course.
Definitely the most we can do. And we won't keep him in a second longer than he would need to be.
Oh, and here's a strip of cloth. Just in case things get scary, you can put this on your eyes and not see anything. It's magical.
Whoa.
Here you go. Yeah.
My own magical cloth.
Yeah. Put it on your eyes. Try it out. Look it. Everything disappears.
Whoa.
Amazing.
You can tell it's magic.
Amazing.
And I'll gust his face. Be like, that's the air from Jarland.
Whoa.
I know. Whenever you're wearing this cloth, maybe you'll feel it. Maybe you won't. Who knows? That's part of the magic.
Up a little bit and peeks it and then shuts it again. Thanks, mister.
No problem.
Fennon, they gave me a magic scarf. Or magic rag.
Rag.
Specifically, I stole Roulette's cloth that she degreases Alfie with.
Perfect. Well, with that, a day of travel will conclude fairly easily. And nearing the end of the day, light begins to peek through the canopy more often, and it gets a little colder as trees are less often able to block the winter breeze sort of sailing over this environment. And you all finally arrive here. The coast of the very south of the Arbor Lock, knowing that as sort of a beach lake coast doesn't continue very far, but you know to just follow it westward. And the sun is clearly setting off in the westward direction, so you know exactly where to head. The tropical visuals don't necessarily provide much comfort against the dropping temperatures of this point. Some of these trees are able to survive in their natural state even in the winter, but definitely not a warm and cozy environment.
Oh.
But you guys are welcome to start heading westward. The sun is dipping. You know you'll need to camp before another night of rest. But what do y'all do?
I have a conversation I want to have with Rome and Jiri. So, Rome, Jiri, you may have noticed something. Well, maybe not noticed something. But, so I have a piece of information I want to tell you. Jiri, this is more for you specifically. Jiri, what if I promise to tell you something very exciting? But I want to tell you that I'm nervous to tell you.
You're nervous to tell me. Why would that be? Why would you be nervous?
Do you know how you're very Jiri and all the things that means?
I'm only Jiri. That's the only thing I could be.
Honestly, you're only several people, but generally you're Jiri, right? I want to tell you something, but I want to give you, I'm going to give you a power, essentially. But I want you to promise me you will not abuse this power before I give it to you.
Listen, I have many powers and I have abused none of them.
That's also false. But how about this? What if okay, how do I do this? Really, Toby, how do I do this?
Listen, I'm not agreeing to anything. I think you should just tell me and then deal with the consequences.
I really don't want to do that. Jiri, I could just keep this a secret from you. I want to tell you, but promise not to.
Oh, the secret's out. I already know something's up.
Toperian, do you want to test a range to this thing, if that gives you some comfort?
Oh, it's got a range. Okay, now we're making progress. I'm figuring it out.
I don't know if it has a range. I wonder if it does. I'm taking a page out of
I can already tell Toby knows. You guys, you can't keep secrets from me.
Oh, I got it. Okay. Jiri, I gotta tell you something. I'm gonna tell you about this cool new power you can have, but it's not free from consequences if it's abused. Is that fair? Just so you know. It's this cool new psychic power that I can give you, but if you abuse it too much, it can give you headaches.
Okay, continue.
Okay. So, and then at this point you'll hear into a period in your mind. You know how I can think thoughts into your head?
No, I don't know what you're referring to.
You're hearing in your head. I'm not talking. I said so. Right now, Jiri, you're the only one that can hear me because I'm putting my thought in your head, right?
No, because you're saying this.
But not with my mouth, with my mind into your head. My mind to your mind, right? No one else can hear it, just you.
Oh, that's what my dad does too.
Yes, you can now do that to me. If you look over at me and you think a thought to me specifically with intention, I will be able to hear it, and no one else.
I tell Perion, it's Jiri, and he says it out loud.
All right, maybe I didn't have to be worried about this after all. No, but you could just think it. You remember, I think you can telepathically tell.
How would I think something without saying it?
Don't you talk to your dad? No, you talk to him out loud.
Yeah.
Well,
A valuable lesson he tries to teach you, Jiri.
I'm sure your Hex Father will use this information.
Hex Father.
Adras, my father. Yes. What about him?
Never mind. I'm sure he will teach you sooner rather than later, right?
Baron, I don't know what's going on here, but I think it just sounds like you want me to speak to you more. I think you want me to conversate with you. So come over here, Telpiran. We'll walk together, and I'll tell you a lot of tales that you've never heard of before.
I only will talk to Jiri now in his head for like an hour just to like try to get him to do it back. Because now that he's refusing to learn how to do it, now I wanted to teach him how to do it. So you guys just hear a very, very one-sided conversation. Jiri's just lecturing me.
Let me explain all the intricate rules of Skyball once again. I know you've heard this already, but we got to go through the specifics again.
Jiri, just for your knowledge, that Michael Jacob is going to hear out loud, but Telperion doesn't know this part unless you tell him. Adras tries to utilize this opportunity to make a connection with Telperion itself, reaching out telepathically, but seems unable to do so. So you gain the understanding that you can do this, but that other voice in your head is unable to.
Whoa, Telpiran, if there was ever anything I needed to tell you without my dad hearing it, I could do so.
But he just probably heard you say that. But
oh, shoot, you're right. We're gonna have to figure this out. It's gonna take a while for us to.
I also think I can still hear your thoughts, Jiri.
Oh.
I just seem unable to breach his mind.
This is more confusing than I thought it would be. Why don't we just go back to talking normally, Telperion?
Because this is a useful tool if we use it properly. Like, if you ever want to tell me something without anyone hearing it, if you learn how to think in your head without talking, you could do that.
Or I can whisper, like this.
Not the same. Because very importantly, Jiri, also, if you want Roulette to know something, say we're like in a chamber with a king or something, or queen, we've done that several times, and let's say Toby's doing the talking, and you want Toby to know a thought, you could think it to me, and I could think it to Toby. We have a network now. But you'd have to be able to think without talking first.
I don't think I'm going to be able to grasp this one, Telpiran. It doesn't make any sense. Why would I ever want to think something without saying it?
Privacy? I don't know how to answer that one.
Some pure integrity right there.
I hope at this point Rome has also heard how it all works, so Rome does know now. For Rome's own sake, if Rome wants to utilize this network.
Yeah, Rome got it the first time you explained it.
If anyone else wants to try to teach him, they could.
Tyrion's up to.
Yes.
That's all I got.
Perfect. By the time this effort is concluded, Fennin and Yuri have sort of set up a loose campfire under sort of a rocky outcropping of the side of the land that you guys can use for a little bit of shelter from the cold breeze, still on beach sand, for a long rest.
Rome goes to the coastline and like in her long rest, like she like is like kind of half and like allowing the waves to hit her as she like transforms into more like a water shape, like with like seaweeds and like kelp and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Very cool. Oops, sorry.
I was just gonna say, Telperion, just for your understanding, like Jiri is now speaking to you and like telepathically communicating. Like it's both at the same time. So he's like thinking and speaking at you from here on out.
Well, like the same sentences?
Yes, it's exactly the same.
Oh.
Oh, the echo.
Yeah, it's like you're on
Yeah, and sound travels a little less quickly than speed of light telepathy. So there's just like a split-second delay, and it's kind of annoying, probably.
Jiri, wait. Do you have Never mind. Don't know how to fix that.
Can we see the tree in the distance in the center of the arbor lock, or is that too far away?
That's a good question. Go ahead and make a perception check.
30-20.
Although in this time of year, there's sort of a dense, not dense, a heavy fog that just sort of drifts over the Arborlock occasionally. You do think far in the distance, maybe estimating based off literally cartography, maybe 25, 30 miles away, you can see what appears to be a large sort of umbrella shape off in the distance of what is likely an island or tree cover or a jungle or something. A lot of tree cover, but to be able to see it from this distance just emphasizes its grandeur.
I grew up relatively close to this. How do I know anything about the arbor lock / the island in the middle of the arbor lock?
You could make a history check.
What's the distance between us and the arbor lock right now? Like, how far away is it?
You guys are on the coast of the arbor lock, so let's shift back here for just a moment.
Because I thought the arbor lock was like the island, or is the arbor lock?
The arbor lock is the lake.
Yeah. Oh, it's the whole lake.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what I was saying, that whatever Roulette is seeing is probably 25, 30 miles north of you guys. Likely the island off in that distance.
20 to 30 miles. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And similarly to how you can technically see mountains as far as 30, 40, 50 miles away if they're big enough, you're able to see some sort of terrain off in the distance. But yeah, you guys are probably, based on your travel, are probably, yeah, someone had marked it. Yeah, that's a really good spot right about there right now.
Does anybody know the story of this lake?
Sorry, I didn't check your history. Roulette with a 17. There have been very few Belladonian commerce vessels that have needed to breach it. Everyone heads west through or near Storm's Edge and then down to the Tri-Post or the sort of no man's land in between Belladonia and Durast for commercial trade to Creatia or Durast. Very rarely do people cross the arbor lock, but you're sure people have tales of strange creatures and exotic bird life and stuff at the island in the middle, but no tangible.
I know it exists.
Yeah. It's like in the way Galapagos Islands kind of sort of helps visualize like exotic animals. Sometimes people have tales like that of the island and the arbor lock, but.
Got it. I know that the island's there, and I know it's pretty big and chock full of weird animals and such, but nothing beyond that.
Oh, what's the weirdest?
Oh, I've never been there myself, but I presume all sorts of colorful birds and such.
We should go.
It does seem like a pretty unique destination. I'm sure we can maybe make our way there at some point.
How many miles away do you think it is?
25, 30. It's probably just out of the reach of our wind sails, I think. So we might have to either sail out a little bit and then sail up, or find a closer launching point.
Hey, little dude, does your town have boats?
You say to him in Elvish, I presume, and definitely responds, we had a crew of fishermen that would occasionally survey sort of our coast, but we would never go west because humans live there that might not like us, and our village is right off the coast, so it's just made sense to fish sometimes, but otherwise we hunt.
All right, we can commandeer one of their boats when we're in their town saving them.
Certainly.
Very well. As you guys settle down for the night, anything you guys want to do over the course of a long rest?
Yes. Toby will set up relatively near to Fennin and Yuri where they set up, and doing his prayer. This might not asking questions, but will likely become somewhat common if he hasn't utilized the spell earlier in the days. Casting Commune to kind of get to ritually to get to kind of a closer space to Kelemvor in his realm.
Does this expend a spell slot, or are you able to cast commune as an actual ritual?
You may ritually cast it, yes.
Okay, perfect. You are welcome to do so then. Does it consume any materials as part of this?
Nope.
Okay.
And I do have questions for this specific one tonight.
Okay. Well, I will. Hopefully that popped up for people. You casting this spell, it's like your vision pinholes. Darkness kind of takes over your vision as if you're falling asleep. And once more, the cool silver mists sort of form loosely into 6 wings that converge on a single point into a figure in ivory gray robes and that dark void of their hood obscuring any facial features. And they just sit there or stand there, their robes sort of billowing a bit.
I'm sort of confused. This new woman, presumably we're traveling with, she suffered a recent injury, and I haven't been able to mend it in a way that I thought. I was sure that the magic I'd been granted so far would be able to solve this or mend it for her. Is there something I'm missing to this woman's ailment?
Balance bringer. Sort of omnipresent, their voice, not coming seemingly from the direction of straight in front of you where they are, but as if their voice is echoing all around the space. You have grown much in your abilities to heal and even restore life. But do not presume to expect consistency from his magics. Some wounds are more difficult to heal from than others. They linger or are even permanent. Perhaps someday, should you earn it, more potent restoration will be made available to you.
Hearing that spoken to me makes sense, and it's in a scenario where I've been granted these powers. It's funny to say that that feels fair when having these powers certainly in and of itself isn't fair in as many would describe it. I'm very worried about this village we're about to come upon, because I know there is intentionally and and I believe the purpose of it limits on my ability to restore life, and I'm realizing that that is a very difficult decision, and I don't know. I don't know that there's a question in this, but I don't know how to deal with the frustration of the competence I've been given and seeing how I could think of wanting to do more.
For reasons unknown to me, the Eternal Judge has found you worthy of his trust in your judgment. The expectations and burden of being looked to as a savior for people's livelihoods is part of the pressure of his domain. I cannot advise you on suggested courses of action, but as he does, all I can do is believe in your judgment. Many of their souls have already been shepherded onward through the river, but perhaps could be called upon if you wish.
Do you think I could restore to life one of this young child's parents? I have recently come to appreciate and understand the nuance of different lives, of different creatures, and those of elves are... I've certainly gained a new respect, and so any I could restore, I would seek to do so.
You will find, when you venture there, that lives lost longer ago than your previous efforts in this field are far more difficult to recover. For the river has gates that you have not ventured past as of yet. Their souls are past at least 2 of those gates. And you see slowly the mist beginning to dissipate. And after a weird, sobering moment, your vision deep pinholes, and you are surrounded by your friends and allies on the beach of the Arbor Lock at night once more.
And Toby will kind of sit in silence, relatively somber the rest of the night.
Colette's in her notebook. Being a nerd.
Jury's gonna go up to Roulette and sit down and be like, Roulette, it's been a while since you've used your electricity breath. Remind me again, I know I've asked you like a million times, but what's up with that? How'd you learn electricity? You're not from Orange, so it's like, it's kind of weird, you know what I mean?
That's a great question. I I mean, I didn't know where it came from originally, but after talking to King Mordecai and getting some information from him, apparently I'm some part Villian in some way. I I don't know if the way King Mordecai described it, it was some sort of illicit Belladonian genetic testing or something. Uh, I don't see my father or mother being a part of that, but I, I'm presuming that's where I got it from. Something to do with this, and I'll show you the back of my hand, being branded and all.
What does that mean?
I think it's just kind of what it was the name that they came up with for those non-Villian that were subjected to these tests, or because it was it was a side effect of being imparted with these Villian traits, that you ended up with a brand on the back of your hand. I guess a easy way to identify individuals like this.
How are you gonna find out, like, where you got that from?
I've been thinking about that, and I suppose I should ask mom and dad, because they'd be the ones to know if I was subject of some sort of Belladonian governmental experiment at some point in my life. But I don't know. I think it's a topic for my parents first, but because I don't know who else to really ask or talk to. Um, it's a question for once I get home, I think.
And now I'm curious, because electricity powers, that's pretty serious.
Whether it's the electricity or the fire that I can now kind of shoot out of my hand, I don't know. I've been I guess dosed with a little bit of elemental power in one way or another.
Ooh, what about the other elements? Have you tried to do other stuff?
Like, I mean, I know how to formulaically do some things, like with ice and acid and other elements that I cannot think of at the moment. But the only ones that I think that seem to come, I'll say, naturally to me, seem to be the fire and the lightning.
I wonder why that is. Strange.
It's weird. Not unwelcome, but definitely weird. I have been a little, I don't want to say reluctant to use it, but ever since that conversation with King Mordecai, I feel like a bit guilty for having powers that in my mind, I don't think I should. But I don't know. Like I said, it's a conversation, I think, for mom and dad when I get home at some point.
You ever practice? Maybe you can, like, I don't know, spit acid at people.
I could what?
Spit acid.
Oh. I don't know that I can do something like that. I certainly haven't tried, but no, I haven't really. I kind of use it on a whim as the situation calls for it. But like back with that dragon fella. But no, I don't do much practicing with it.
Well, maybe you should practice.
Again, I don't know that I'm entirely 100% comfortable using it, but I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if there's a way to get rid of it. I think Toby at some point tried to restore or remove curse or something from me, but didn't kind of get rid of it. So that is the question I kind of have in my head: is do I use it and make the best of it because I have it, or do I kind of quash it away because it's the
Wait a minute.
the poison tree kind of thing?
It's a blessing. Why would you not use it? It's like the coolest thing you've ever done.
I will look at Alfie.
I mean, Alfie is pretty cool too, but like, come on, electricity. Everybody knows that stuff's like pretty powerful.
I get that. It's definitely flashy. My question is, fruit of the poison tree kind of thing, where it's all stemming. If this is kind of lining up with what Mordecai was saying, it's all rooted in this Belladonian abuse of Villian powers. I don't know how comfortable I feel kind of just taking advantage of that work, but I don't know. I do appreciate that point of view of just kind of use it because I got it sort of thing.
I mean, you are who you are, right? You can't change that.
That is very true. That's a good point, Jerry.
Well, maybe you and I could practice sometime.
We did do one cool thing that one time where we lined up our lightning. Maybe we could find other ways to do that. Maybe it is in it's all in how you use it, not where it's coming from.
Very true. Oh well. Anyways, change of topic. Introduce me to the new Elfie.
Oh, he's the same old Alfie. He's a bit shinier since since he got completely destroyed, and I had to kind of retune him with a bit of magical force. No, he's got the same fancy legs and shiny inlay that I added to him when we were back in the Moonset Grove.
Yeah, but how do you know his personality's not different? Because he died and then he came back. Maybe it's a completely different Elfie.
That is a great question. I feel like Roulette just writes the word soul ? Somewhere in her notebook next to Alfie's notes. Here, I guess this might be one way, and I'll take out just a little loop of rope that I have. If this is the same Alfie, I wonder what he does with it. And I'll hand Alfie a loop of rope, and I will either in subtle sign language or something instruct Alfie to toss it onto Telperian's horn.
Okay. Yeah, Alfie can make yeah. It's not really an attack roll because it's kind of improvised, so a strength or dex check.
D20 plus 1, I think. Or no, it's just a D20 because his dex is yeah.
Tosses it onto Telperian's horn.
Oh, not a very high AC.
I think so. Jerry, I think I built him the same way that I built him the first time. So I don't think he could have changed. I can change him, but
yeah, but maybe he's just a new Elfie with the old Elfie's memories. Maybe he's different though. How do you know? It's completely different, right? Like his mind.
It isn't. It is. I mean, he did officially go away as far as power goes, and then he did come back. So it could be a new thing, but I guess not that it doesn't matter. But I don't know. To your point before, but he's got the same set of tools as the old Alfie. So I don't think it matters kind of where he came from, but it's more of what he does with the tools I've given him. He could be a new Alfie, could be the old Alfie, could be a combination of both, but still an ally of ours on the battlefield.
I guess you're right. He seems different to me. I don't know, but different in a good way. As new Elfie. Hi, new Elfie. My name's Jerry. Nice to meet you. Put it here.
I'll make him do the handshake that he always does.
All right, Roulette. I'm gonna head to sleep.
Good night, Jerry.
Good night.
So, as some of you bed down for the night, who's thinking about taking shifts of watch, if any?
I have something I want to be doing, but I don't know if we had a little bit of downtime before rest. So I could say that now. I want to go off somewhere a little bit away, and just meditate. And I haven't used any of my telepathic or any of my things today. So for a while meditating, first I want to just do a psionic surge just to like kind of be getting into this. Like usually I have to use it in the moment, but I kind of just want to like really focus my mind. And not cast detect thoughts right away, but I want to try to isolate in my head where that like Kieran's piece is residing, having just kind of like felt it buzz actively for the first time. And during the course of the meditation, I will use a detect thoughts while just like pressing on that, but I want to just kind of focus on it for a little while and just like, I don't know, just kind of like prod it from different directions and see how it can be, channeled. And then like, if I'm not getting far enough, just casting a general detect thoughts, like not really isolating on anyone in particular, but just kind of trying to like expand my consciousness and interact with it.
Okay. Usually your telepathic and psionics stuff is fairly intelligence based off your training, based off your ability to utilize it. But meditating on it, trying to understand it and reflecting on it is more wisdom based. Go ahead and make just a wisdom check as you're sort of meditating.
Oh my god. A 2.
Okay, so you feel the buzzing sensation of whatever Chiron did to your mind, and you also sort of designate that it's different from the normal sort of core of psionic power that you've always relied upon. You've interacted with that far enough to understand its sort of quote unquote location in your mind. So you understand that they're two different sources, but you're not sure what that means or any specifics.
Okay. I'll go back to the group frustrated. I didn't find anything else out. And then I'll take first watch.
Okay. Were you intending to use detect thoughts on it as well?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. I thought
okay,
yes.
That was just for your sort of meditation.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I thought that was yes, that
yeah.
is so I guess he's frustrated, like I'm not getting more out of it. And then I'll cast detect thoughts at that time.
Okay. Go ahead and spend one of your psionic die. Go ahead and roll it and add your normal int modifier.
7 total.
Momentarily, a jarring amount of sensory overload assaults your mind, and you take 7 psychic damage, and you swear for a second it sounded like Jiri's voice and Roulette's voice. Just for like a second, you heard like a word from each of them, as if they are conversing with each other, but not anywhere near you.
Damage. Probably just meditate for a little while after that, just like trying to go back in my mind and figure out what they were saying, or just trying to piece together the implications. And then after a little while meditating, I'll go back to the group.
Yeah, I'll say just the one word you think you heard was like lightning.
Okay.
From that conversation. Anything from anyone else? Or are you guys taking shifts of watch? Or
I would request that I share the last shift with someone, but I won't really be on watch necessarily.
Okay. How about you, Rome? Looks like you had something.
I wanted to take some round of watch, either with Toby or by myself, but I wanted to do it in the water.
Okay.
And cast water breathing.
Okay. Very cool.
So
You can definitely do that at the same shift as Toby if you want, and he kind of emphasized an interest in taking final shift, so you can definitely prepare to do that upon final shift of watch.
sure. Yeah, so I
Anyone?
wanted to go in the water. Toby, Toby, you can come with me because
And you'll see he has conjured an unbelievable amount of food. And he's like, I'm cooking us up some stuff for the next day. I'm a little overwhelmed. No, you go. Have some solitude.
all right, well, Rome like walks through the surf and fully submerges herself and then attempts to become like rooted down at the sea surface, kind of like kelp swaying in the current. And then ritually casts commune with nature to attempt to like see if she detects any sort of powerful entity such as herself.
Okay. You enact this ritual, sort of reaching out your understanding of the surrounding geography and terrain. No sort of powerful entities come to mind. You can tell there are beasts that live within the forest behind you, fish, and even some more feral, rarely emerging fish people, humanoids that live further down and out under the water. But you don't get a sense of any power. But with you being underwater for this portion of your shift, and Toby Rama being otherwise sort of engaged in his efforts, right when you come out of the water, you guys' long rest almost having been completed, you do see something, Rome. As you leave the cover of water, you can see what looks like a gaunt, emaciated figure that has snuck up around the rocky outcropping crevice and is nearing the party, most closely currently to Telperion. And you see them like low to the ground, quadrupedal, but then they shift into a bipedal stance, and you think you see like canine features, but drooping, emaciated.
Ew.
It looks like spotted and patterns on them. And you quickly identify this as likely a gnoll creature. And before you have the moment to shout out, it's going to make one attack at Telperion.
39 damage.
Does a 20 hit you, I believe?
Yeah, that's my AC.
Okay. Well, you're also probably sleeping, so it's probably lower than that anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what it is when I'm not in armor.
Probably 10 or 11 based on your, it's 10 plus your dex. But you just are woken all of a sudden, and the rest of you are able to wake. And Toby Rama, your attention is drawn. Rome, you see this happening. And Telperion, you take 7 slashing damage as this creature, you wake to this thing's claws raking across your chest, and you see it like feral foaming at the mouth, this gnoll, and it's like grunting and salivating, and you see things dripping from its mouth, but it's not biting you. And its normal gnoll, like sort of laughing hyena-esque sounds are not really coming from its mouth. I need you to please make a Constitution saving throw.
25.
25. You don't notice anything at this time, but it tore across your chest, and then all of you are free to react in this moment. What are you guys all doing as you start to rouse from sleep or your attention is drawn?
Look as a reaction.
No, you don't have your surprise. You were surprised, so you don't have your reaction available to you at that time.
I think Toby will look at this thing with incredible just feralness and just cast blight on it.
Okay. Is that within your... It's probably 30 feet away, so I imagine that's well within. Okay. With that, you just see its gaunt form just almost suck to the bone, and you just see skin around bone and withered muscle disappear, and it chokes over and falls to the ground, dead.
Oh, God.
Stop here and look out. There's a wolf trying to eat you.
Anyone got eyes on Yuri and Fennin?
And Toby will look down and see if they're there.
You just see Fennin just standing over Yuri with her staff, like sort of bracing herself, more defensive than aggressive looking.
If it gets to another point where I can cast another spell, I'll cast Sanctuary on Yuri.
Okay.
I'm gonna light up my flail and just do a quick perimeter.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check as you just sort of scout a perimeter. You take a perimeter. You identify some of its footsteps and where it had breached from cover of trees, and you are able to sort of see the path it was walking, and you follow it just a little bit, and there's another small rodent that had been lacerated and eviscerated by claws, but notably no organs or skin or muscle was eaten at all. Very odd for gnoll behavior.
Interesting. But no other threats around there, it looks like.
Seemingly no pack of gnolls at its side or anything like that. No other dangerous sources.
Is the corpse still just like lying there?
Yeah, probably just dead, emaciated.
I'll investigate its like features and
Okay.
seeing as it didn't bite me.
Yeah,
I'm really looking at its
go
jaw.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check, actually.
8.
Yeah, you're, for whatever reason, investigating it, you're not sure what's afflicting it, but its jaw is like locked into place. You can't even open it up. And so the foaming of it indicates it's being riddled with some sort of disease that is affecting its musculature. And should you have succumbed to that disease based on a wound you suffered, possible that could have started trying to infect you, but you're not sure what the disease is.
Ugh.
Wolf bites cursed, Talperion. You gotta be careful of those wolves biting you.
I'm gonna psionic surge to heal that. Oh wait, I don't even know if I have it. I don't know where we are in our resting.
We did not complete.
Yeah,
the
you guys have almost completed it, so not quite available to you yet.
Gross.
Could be worse. Could have gotten you.
Fennin will think to Telperion, if it's all right, I'll just stay up to close out this period of rest.
No complaints there.
But otherwise,
turn off
depending
my
on
flail.
your level of comfort and security, can settle back down once more.
Sleepy time.
Any final items anyone wants to do on this long rest?
I would
Go
just.
ahead, Toby.
Oh yeah, sorry. I would wonder if I could do the recharging of my ring. If that would be something too strenuous for me to do.
I was just having this conversation with myself internally of even the blight spell. It's not quite ending the long rest, but would it recharge in 30 minutes or would it be count for today's journey? I would say the blight spell didn't necessarily hinder your next day's spell slots available, but more spell casting would. So so I'll say that's your call here, is if you want to try and recharge the ring now, you're able to, but those spell slots you'll not recover upon completion of the long rest.
Okay. I will refrain from doing so and go back to preparing food for our day's journey.
Jiri, was there something you wanted to do?
Yep, I'm going to enter into Rillette's dreams. I may have done this before this occurred. But I want to shape Rillette's dream this evening based on the conversation we had previously. Roulette, you have a dream. You kind of don't know where the dream starts, but you know where you find yourself like climbing up the side of a mountain through like a vicious windstorm. And you get yourself to like a ridge and you see like Jiri sitting up there, just relaxing. And he helps you up to like the lip on this mountain. And he says to you, Roulette, I'm playing a game. You should come join me.
Are we race climbing again or race descending again?
No, different game. I beat you on that one already.
I know, because you can fly, and you're a bit better at that than I am. But what's the game we're playing?
Oh, we're blasting clouds out of the sky with our lightning abilities.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, watch. And Jiri will like lightning bolt like a random cloud that like is flying by.
You're in control here. So what happens to the cloud when your lightning bolt impacts it?
It just like pops, like it dissipates.
Okay.
Wow, they're pretty far away, Roulette. I don't know what your range is, but there's one coming by right now. Get it.
I think you might got me beat here. Yours can go a bit further than mine. And I will deep breath and attempt to lightning bolt out of my mouth.
Jiri is like watching very carefully as this is occurring.
Okay. As Roulette inhales and exhales her lightning blast, what happens, Jiri? Once more, you're in full control of what's happening here.
Oh shucks. Can I allow Roulette to kind of decide this part?
Sure. Yeah. You can sort of seize control over this moment.
Yeah.
Roulette, you send your bolt in a direction of a cloud. If Jiri's not in control, we'll sort of default to the mechanics of this ability. How far can 60? Is it 60 foot?
I believe it's 60 feet.
Okay. Jiri, is that within range of one of the clouds flowing by?
We'll say it isn't.
Okay. So it just sort of dissipates as it reaches its 60-foot trajectory and then just sort of sputters out and dissipates. No impact to the cloud a bit further than that, sort of soaring by you guys slowly on this mountaintop.
Darn, you missed.
I told you, mine doesn't quite pack the same punch as yours does. I can't quite shoot it as far, I think.
Maybe you should try like fire breath this time.
I can't really do I guess I can do. That's a bit more of a spread than a distance, but I can give it a try.
Oh, there comes another cloud. Get it, Roulette, get it.
And I will shunt that same energy down to my hand and do the breath through my fire finger things and cast Burning Hands in a 15-foot cone.
And Jiri will take control of this, and he'll make it like this huge cone that's like 100 and 200 feet, just like scorching the entire sky.
Perfect. We're just picking up down.
You are able to do so. Roulette, a torrent of flame emanates, almost forcing you backward from your hand, just tearing into the environment and air in front of you.
Did I get it?
Wow. Jiri takes his goggles off That was crazy.
I don't know. I've always had a bit more of affinity for fire, and I'll like show off my fire snapping gloves. It just seems I don't know closer to the core of the things I can do. That lightning breath has always been a bit I don't know foreign to me. Still functional, but a bit strange.
Crazy Roulette. You should keep practicing. Anyways, I think you gotta keep climbing up this mountain, Roulette. I think there's something up there that you gotta see. I'm gonna stay down here though. You're gonna have to go on without me from here on out.
Oh, we're not racing.
Nope, this journey is just for you.
Oh, okay. And I will get to climbing.
And that's where Jiri will kind of end the dream.
Or so you think.
Oh.
Because another presence continues the dream away from Jiri's consciousness. And Roulette, as you continue climbing, the winds of the storm stop buffeting you as much on your way up. And you're kind of confused, and you look around and see a wild landscape out in the surrounding sky. No longer a flashing thunderstorm in the classic sense, but as you sort of stabilize yourself hanging off the wall of this mountain, you see this.
Oh God. Oh.
Though not with Telperian Jiri or Shadow Moby there at this time. You see the earth flooded with a dark, shifting liquid, you guess, except you can't see ripples in it, as it's not reflecting any light across its small waves. And just ever present in the sky, flashing in different, no sound coming from them, but colors. Vibrant blues and deep magentas and purples and pinks just light up the entire sky. And you hear a voice. This is the storm we brave every single day. Help Jiri to quell it, and you will earn my favor. And then a strike of lightning that stretches across the expanse of the sky that looks equally like a neural network of impulses through a human body or mind, leaps out from the sky and strikes the part of the stone wall you're holding onto. And as you lose your grip and fall, you wake up. And Jiri, your spell concludes. But unless there's anything else, that will do it for this long rest. And you guys are able to get up after a strange knoll assault that was kind of odd. Some dreaming activities, some oceanic lakeside investigation by Rome.
Probably would have spent some of my non-trancing time just while keeping watch, just reading the spell book too.
Okay. Perfect. Well, this is probably a good spot for a bio break before we continue the next day's journey. So,
Woo!
see you guys all in a few minutes. Dude, Hogwarts is so gorgeous.
Whoa. What? It's just wild, like hearing like, well, Lily goes to sleep, takes a nap around 10, so we're gonna try to get in the car so she can sleep during that point in time, and like she just like all the implications of like traveling with the child, or she goes to bed around 7:30, so we like you just got to think about dinner time, and man, having kids is crazy. Who would do that?
Right now, although it's a big commitment and like steals time from other things I would like to do, it's still like for us still very fluid. There's no bedtime. It's just around the clock every 3 hours. Wake up, feed, go to sleep. Wake up, feed, go to sleep. I'm excited to see when, if it's at 6 months, 8 months, a year and a half, when it starts being like, oh, you put them down at 7 and then you have your night again. Like I don't know when that kind of stuff happens. So
I was just talking to my friend, and she's coming on Saturday of next week with her. She just said, she's like, Lily is very much becoming a toddler, and all the things that implies. She's Miss Independence now, and like, I don't want this food, so I'm gonna smear it on the floor, and like becoming more willful.
yeah.
I thought that I had a class at 4:30, but it turns out that my class is actually at 4, so I have to leave 15 minutes early. You guys can keep playing. I'm sorry that I made that mistake. So there's no need to
worries
like
at all.
stop at 3:45. I just need to pop out at 3:45.
She and I just in unison went like that, like nobody,
Okay, great.
without even meaning to.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Thank you.
With that in mind, though, let's go ahead and jump back in and make some good use of the time we got. You all are able to wake here on the coast. No further assaults or threat of danger. As the night concludes, you're all able to achieve your long rest and wake. Fennin and Yuri are already quick and up and ready to go. They pack light and travel quickly, so they're happy to leave as soon as you guys are.
I've got breakfast for everyone. We've got food for the day. Carry what you want. It'll vanish after today, so don't worry about leaving behind what we can't take.
I imagine 3 folding tables worth of buffet breakfast.
Yeah.
Rome offers some like kelp and like barnacles that she picked up off the bottom of the seafloor.
Yeah.
And slaps them on the table. The rest of everything else.
Marum, that looks very tasty.
Try it. It's high in nutrients.
Nutrients.
It's good for you.
Yes, and he like eats it like down the side.
Jerry, have some of mine then. You can clear this plate too.
What do you got? Is it better than kelp?
No, it's the algae that was on the kelp. I kind of scraped it off into the better pot. So yeah, just the
Oh,
whole bowl
man.
is all yours.
I had so much kelp and algae that I am now full. Sorry.
We can take it with us.
Fennin and Yuri definitely eagerly eat some as well. They probably specifically stay a little bit away from the kelp and algae and barnacles, but.
And Toby has done his best so that it's not just stale or plain food that sustains. It has flavor as best as he can provide.
Okay.
So do we think this little hyena thing was a problem? Besides waking us up and attacking us, like it seemed diseased. Does that imply there's disease around here? What should we read from this?
I guess Fennin and Yuri have on your travels from your village to Bantwar, did you encounter anything like this? And I will look to Telperion to translate mental thoughts.
Oh, yeah, mouthpiece.
I'll
Or
give
less
that
Yuri.
a roll. Her int is probably at least a +1, so 15 will do it. She'll think and say that based on the emaciated look of that creature and its inability seemingly to eat or utilize its mouth as part of its attack, implies it's probably diseased with lockjaw, which can set in fairly quickly if afflicted, and can rid you of the opportunity to eat, perform verbal components of spells. It can really affect your ability to utilize your mouth until cured with a rather rare fruit or prepared in a certain way or magical means. They did not encounter that on their journey, but she's not necessarily surprised to see an individual afflicted with that particular disease.
Does she know
But the fact that I'll just also add the fact that she thinks Telperion seems unhindered by it right now is a good sign.
Does she know what this rare fruit is?
She does not. Not with the 15.
Sad.
Well, that was a close call. Although,
Yeah, I guess everyone, as Jiri has been saying for the past several months, if you see any wolves, stay away from them. Try not to get scratched or bitten by them, because might be a bit of a biological curse.
Yep, I've always had some good advice on that in that regards.
we've got Medicine Boy here. He could probably have fixed it.
I can do diseases. I know for a fact I can do diseases. So.
I mean, I don't know about that. He let me run around for like a month being cursed by a wolf. So no offense, Toby.
None taken.
Well, we're supposed to be heading due west towards the village. Did we have any business with the lake before we left? This is our first time seeing it.
I suppose we won't be escaping the cold ocean breeze anytime soon.
Oh, last night we set up the leather-lined tent. The fur-lined tent, maybe. And then we used the magical brazier, too.
Cool. Very restful.
All right, Telperion, before we leave the lake, let's intimidate it.
Well, I think we're already seeing it the whole time we're traveling.
I thought we could, like, skip rocks on it or something.
Oh, I was thinking about yelling at it, telling it, you better not cause any mischief, or else.
No mischief! I yell at the lake with you.
That's right, no mischief.
And
I think
give
we're-
us
Oh.
Rome's sibling back or something.
Yeah, that's right. You listen to Telperion, or we'll mess you up.
Telperion, you might have to stick your head under the water and scream it.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, Telperion, I think that's a good point. You better stick your head in.
It's cold and this hair will take forever to dry. I don't have gust magic like you.
I'll dry it off. Go ahead, Telperion. Stick your head in
You
the
will-
lake and yell at
You
it.
will not dry it off. I know it. You will lead me to think you will, and then you won't.
Come on, Telperion. You know you want to yell at the lake underwater.
No, walk away from the lake. I'm not entertaining this.
Darn, we almost had him, guys.
So close.
I was very tempted to cast command.
Oh my god.
Dude, next time.
With
Jiri,
some-
I meant to
Yeah,
ask
go
you
ahead.
this, as we're walking along the shore, whatever it was. Jiri, I meant to ask you this yesterday, and I kind of thought about it. Your lightning powers, where do those come from? Is that just like is that a royalty thing, or is that just a product of being from Jarland?
Yes, well, partially it's from being a half djinn, but also partially because I am a prince of Jarland, a Jarl. See, when you're a Jarl, you get some royal galactic enchantments and sortilèges and so I have been granted powers.
What's
But
a
also,
galactic?
what?
What's a galactic?
Galactic, Royal Galactic.
What is that?
Jolland. Well, that's how we call Jolland. Jolland, it's got neighboring kingdoms. They orbit around Jolland, so it makes a galaxy. See, in Jolland, everything's falling through Orin, falling really, really, really fast, and things orbit each other. I don't know how it works. It's magic.
I think to Toby. Toby, is he making up the word galactic, or is that just a word I haven't heard yet?
I've heard it used to before, like, yeah, orbiting sounds like the right word, but anything
You guys just haven't been
related is lost on me as well.
This is all terminology you're gonna have to get down, Telpiran, before we go to Jawland. You're gonna look silly if you start saying, I don't know what a galaxy is in Jawland.
Oh, but Jiri, if everything's falling all the time, is the ability to fly just so you can kind of move around? Because, like, you don't need to hover the whole time if you're just already falling.
Well, here's the issue. Flying from kingdom to kingdom is really tricky because there are winds that only blow in a certain direction. And if you get off course from those winds, you'll end up getting lost from Jawland. You'll just be trapped in the middle of Orin and have no idea where you are. It's very treacherous to fly around there.
Is that what happened to you?
No, I don't really remember how I got stuck here.
Wasn't it the bottle thing?
Yeah, I wasn't trapped in a bottle for a while, and then I guess I got unleashed from my bottle, and now I'm here. It's all very confusing. Time's weird for me because I don't know exactly how long I spent in that bottle.
Jiri, I can relate. I also spent time in a bottle.
That's why we're siblings. You know what I was thinking, Realm? All right, so hear me out here. If you have a brother who's named Drakkar, which is my brother,
well,
or
I'm
my
not
half
sure
brother.
His name is Drakkar.
Well, just hear me out. If he's your brother, and he's also my brother, that means we must share a sibling, or I mean, a parent. And if your parent is who's that elf god guy again?
Corellin.
Corellin.
Yeah.
If your dad's Corellin, maybe Corellin is Adras. Maybe they're the same thing. What do you think?
But how could you have different names for all of these?
I know, because Jalen's different. I don't know. Apparently, Drakkar has another name that I've never heard of before. Nobody's ever called him, I don't know, whatever that crazy name is that you came up with. What was it?
Corellin. How do
No, for Drakkar.
Oh, Zephadel?
Yeah, I've never heard that in my entire life.
Do I have any, like, bullshit meter on Jiri?
Oh my god.
Like,
That's a really good question. Go ahead and make an insight check. Yeah, Rome, go ahead and make an insight check. And depending on your role, Jiri/Tim can absolutely offer advice, but I think the core of it is that it's not like you know whether this is true or false, but he seems to believe it very intently.
Yeah, so essentially you wouldn't get that like Jiri is lying.
I get that he believes whatever he's saying.
Yes.
So the classic unreliable narrator.
Very much so.
Jerry, that's the most logical leaps I've ever heard in one single story.
Wait, is that a good thing?
I think that means that you would be like Elvish if you were from Corellin. That's like so many different hops you have to do and hoops to jump through to make that story be true.
It would make sense, Telpiran, because you taught me Elvish in like a day.
You also turned into an elf, so who knows what's true in this case? Hey, Jax.
No, I don't know. No. Definitely not.
No.
I mean, we don't want him back either.
Sounds like Adras could potentially be an elf god. Interesting.
Jerry, back to my original question. I appreciate this sojourn that we've taken down family roads. That lightning power. So you've always had it.
Yes, I'm inherently very magical. Yes.
Have you Have you always had control of it? So yours is awfully strong, stronger than mine, and a bit more magical. But has it always been as strong as it's been? And is it something that like you have to practice to get control of?
Well, I'm on many quests as a child to gain all of my powers that I have, and I've been taught many things throughout my life. But I think Adras, having the soul of my father trapped in a bottle, has really helped. The essence. You know, he can communicate with me and share his power to me.
Wait, what?
What do you mean? What?
Like you currently have him, or was this back in your childhood?
Yeah,
No.
can you show us this bottle that has Andros in it?
I mean, we've had it this entire time.
But
That
can
you guys.
you show it to us?
It's in Roulette's bag.
I will take the glass bottle out of the bag of holding.
Yes, that is my bottle of Orin Air. And inside of it is the essence of Adras. When he was slayed by Jadrakar, I scooped up his essence into that bottle.
Did we know this? Out of character. I know it was Orin Air. I didn't know the soul part. I don't know if that was shared.
I think it's something I just remembered quite recently, actually.
So Adras is in here, and he's talking to you in your head all the time.
Yes. That's why I frequently talk to him. Have you not heard me speaking to him?
I have, and I feel like I've heard him talk to me at least once or twice. Oh, okay. I will put the glass bottle back in the bag.
It's all quite straightforward and logical, Roulette, if you think about it.
Roulette, you hear in your head, I don't think it's Adras. I've spoken with it before, just in case we weren't clear.
While we're walking, just Jiri and I, Jiri, has that? Do you know if that voice in your head can talk to other people without your permission?
I mean, yeah, Adras can talk to anybody he wants.
Interesting. I had this weirdest dream last night, and I thought he popped in at some point. I was climbing, which is something I fairly usually find myself doing in that dream, but I could have sworn I heard that voice of Adras or whatever the heck it is inside your head that's spoken to us at least once. I thought I heard it pop into my dream.
Oh, was he a big blue cloud with a crown and a big puffy beard and 4 arms?
No, it was kind of a disembodied voice, but it was surrounded by a storm, all sorts of lightning and darkness.
Strange. You know, he is recuperating after being defeated by Jadrakar, so maybe that's him reforming.
Interesting.
Yeah, he probably gave you a awesome quest.
He kind of did. At least the voice that I heard in my dream did. Told me to help quell the storm inside of Jiri from Jawland.
Yes, we must go to Jawland and defeat the storm. That's Jadrakar. Makes perfect sense.
No, this was a bit more of a internal thing. The storm inside of you.
The storm is inside of me? Interesting. Oh, well, we definitely need to quell that storm. That's the only way back to Jawland. But if it's inside of me, that gives me lots to think about. How are we going to get there?
Maybe that tells you, Jiri, that Jawland's inside your head.
Oh, Rome, you're here? Oh, hey. Jawland is inside of my head. It's inside of my head.
Right, it's all imagined, perhaps. If you're saying that this is
Yeah, but just
inside
because
your
something's
head,
imagined doesn't mean it's not real.
what does it mean to be real?
Rome, I think we're gonna overload if we keep doing
Wait,
this.
what are real? Wait? How is something real versus not being real? This is so hard to think about.
Scientifically, if you can experience it with any combination of the five senses, then I'd say it's real.
Okay, then Jawland's definitely real. I've been there. I've smelt it. I felt it. I listened to it. And I've tasted it. Food's quite good there.
Okay. Well, Jerry, if you happen to have a conversation with a voice in your head today, I don't know, ask about. Depending on if this was actually Adros's voice in my head, ask about whatever this storm that needs quelling might be. A storm inside of you, not some far off storm in a mountain or back in Jyland, but this storm inside of you.
Well, you bring up an interesting point because I've known my mission for a long time now. I need to recharge my sword, relearn to fly, and then travel through the biggest storm of all to get back to Jawland. Now, it's very interesting for you to say that it's inside of me. I'll think about it. Thanks for that.
Of course. If you need anything, just let me know.
Okay, will do.
Walk, 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 walk.
Yeah, and then Jiri will be oddly silent for a while. Oddly quiet.
Okay. You all continue your journey westward along the coast of the Arbor Lock, and the journey is relatively easy. Definitely easier than mucky, swampy, thick, overgrown forest terrain that has so far impeded your journey, and you're out of forest for the first time in probably a long time. Your journey continues westward throughout the course of this 8 to 9 to 10 hours of travel until Toby, Rama, and Rome see Fennin halt all of your gate.
May I cast a utility spell at the halt?
Yeah, absolutely.
I will cast Aid at 4th level on myself, Jiri, and Rome. So all of our max hit points and current hit points go up by 15.
So does that mean like 15 temporary hit points?
No, not temporary. They can be healed back. So
okay.
yeah.
So remind me again, that's you, Rome, and
Jiri.
Jiri. Okay. Slows your pace and thinks back to Telperion with assistance to let the rest of your group know that she heard conversation up ahead. You see her lynx, like longer than Telperion's wood elven ears that end in these tufted furs like a lynx, are kind of like twitching a little bit. Enhanced hearing letting her know something out of sight. And says, I hear conversation up ahead. We are very near to arriving at Aenalad.
Is it evil people talking or friends?
We will need to get closer to discover.
If we get any sort of visual, I can give us a ranged like sensor, and I can listen in or see what's going on. But I need some visual, even if even hundreds of feet away will work. But I can perhaps give us a idea of what's going on.
Well, I suspect that if we peek around and continue further past this embankment, we might be able to see them. Would you want to venture forward carefully?
Yes. And Rome, will you come with me?
Yes.
If we just want to venture a bit ahead.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace so that we are undetected.
Read my mind.
Okay. With
Well-
Pass Without a Trace active and Toby Rama and Rome moving forward together, I'd like to ask the two of you to please make a stealth check in your approach.
23.
And that's
Advantage
plus the
per cloak or boots from both of you,
Boots.
I imagine. Okay. Yes, and then plus 10 as well.
So 36 for Rome.
Yeah.
36, and then is that
Oh,
23 for
23
Toby?
for Toby.
Okay. You guys approach very stealthily. You're very confident in the both of your forms, keeping to shadows under tree cover, peeking around the edge of this part of the coast. And I will move you guys to this screen. You hear conversation up ahead from a few different individuals, and you see a small canoe boat being loaded with supplies. You see two Durastian soldiers over here, one kind of moving back and forward in sort of a rehearsed pacing survey, and then two individuals that have just seemingly lit a campfire as they settle into the onset of this evening as you're arriving. Looks like 5 soldiers you can see. And I'd like to also let you both make a perception check.
Always.
Rome, you start looking at these Durastian soldiers and you quickly identify them as individuals that you've fought those type of armor-clad individuals before when they assaulted Telperian's people for the whole mirror battle. But Toby Rama, something else catches your attention. You think you hear like a deep guttural repetitive in its cadence, and you peek through some additional tree cover and see this sleeping, or at least resting, off in the distance.
Oh.
A large wolf-like creature, but with exaggerated physicality in its upper body, with very strange sort of physiology to the way it carries itself. And it seems to have sort of leather binds around its head as well as toward its back, and it's just sort of slumped over in a restful pose right now. And you get the sense that that is, whether it's sleeping or not, it's kind of stationed at a point, and the other soldiers are kind of avoiding it, but it seems to just be static in a specific location. None of them seem to have brought their attention toward you guys.
Then I'll look to Rome and whisper, okay, that's all I need. I can, if we retreat, I can get some more information from a distance, but I can't do it here.
Okay, let's fall back.
And we will retreat back to the others.
I'm going to continue with my Pass Without a Trace since it lasts an hour.
Okay. You are welcome to. You guys are able to easily make it back to your allies.
What did you guys see?
Great,
So there's
great
definitely...
catch, Fennon, because yes, there's certainly people up ahead. Go ahead, Rome.
I was going to say that there's this great wolf beast
Oh
that we do need
gosh.
to be concerned about, and 5 other individuals whom
Yeah.
we've seen before.
They're Durastian soldiers. 5 of them. They were loading something into a canoe, and yeah, there was this asleep beast that I don't know if it was tamed, but they were kind of skittish around it, so I'm not convinced.
You can't tame a wolf.
If we want, I can take 10 minutes to cast a spell, and then I can listen in on them for 10 minutes, or keep watching for 10 minutes, either or. I can kind of switch between, and then I could kind of relay back, unless we don't want to wait 10 minutes and want to kind of go in and.
Did they look like they were just getting ready to leave or something?
Were they loading or unloading?
Looked like mostly loading.
They were loading. So my initial thought would be from Ayan Alad. They were loading stuff or the surrounding area to then ship back to Croatia or Durast or any. I mean, because there's
probably everything they've looted from here is what I'm assuming.
That's what I would think. I don't know if 10 minutes would let them finish, but I'd be able to listen for free.
At some of this information, you see Fennin sort of like become alert and furrow her brow and just thinks toward Telpiran. Whatever supplies likely belong to our people, not them.
I'll share that. Toby, if you want to use the spell, I'd use it. I don't want to wait 10 minutes to give them more time. And
that is the fastest I can cast it.
Let's just go kill some of them and just think through one of the. And I cover up Yuri's ears as I say that, and just rifle to the mind of the survivor.
Do you want to try something new to kind of lure them in? I think I could bolster you or Jiri or anyone else who wants to volunteer and get them in, and then I could potentially blind all of them. But it requires a lure, one of us to kind of go in and...
Well, this one could teleport out of it if he gets them all close. Pointing at Jiri.
You want to go cause some trouble, Jiri?
Oh, who can I disguise myself as? Oh, I know.
You're gonna have a big, bright, shining weapon.
I will and turn into the Arc Knight.
Oh, damn it! I was gonna do that, but I love you again.
All right, time for our little friend here. All right, Yuri.
Jiri, you want company on this one? I don't know if we like a squire, some kind of thing.
Yeah, probably.
Because I haven't used it since I've gotten it, I'm going to take out the Book of Clothier's Crowley that I've had forever, and I'm going to turn to the page that I have the Durastian armor drawn on. I'm going to show it to Toby and Rome and just say, this looked fairly similar to what they had on?
And I would assume, yes, if it was standard Durastian soldiers, that's...
Durastian plate. Actually, it wouldn't even matter, because it was Durastian plate of a Durastian soldier that was adjacent to the Arc Knight, so I will rip out the page and say Habadash, and transform my clothes into that of a Durastian knight.
Getting exciting.
All right.
So.
Alright, go look really scary.
That is unnerving. Sometimes
Jiri,
the voice is a little too much.
Jiri, we typically say things like trigger warning. Do things like this.
Roulette specifically, although Jiri's guise is imposing, intimidating, and wildly accurate, you do notice that the armor has no distinctly unique sheen to it, like the true armor of the Arc Knight. Just looks like standard metal painted armor.
It's just simple soldiers. I think this will get them in for the initial thing, which is what
we're going for shock. Jiri, I think Toby and Rome, you saw like 5 or 6 of them.
5 soldiers, and then there's that beast, which, again, if there's a big commotion, it might come in, but, I think we can
what if we
subdue it.
Should we try to lure like 2 or 3 of them away?
No, I think we bring them all into an ambush.
Bring them all. I can potentially blind
around them,
and surround them, capture them for interrogating.
Kill the wolf.
And if we have to put down the beast, then we can do that.
We
Okay.
have to. The beast has to die. Well, I mean,
Well, you don't know. Maybe it's captured and it's held under its will, Jerry.
Rome, it's a wolf. Come on. Let's not be crazy here.
Uh,
It's the purpose of giving people curses.
Jerry, what's the lore that we're pulling away with?
Oh, I'm just gonna yell at them and be like, "Get in line. We've got stuff to do."
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, we can tell them we got like a bigger boat down the shore or something. That we
No,
gotta.
or like it's time to march. There's enemies. Let's go.
Oh, okay. You take the lead, Arc Knight.
Well, wait.
Yeah.
I want to get Yuri in the necklace.
We'll check with
Fennin puts her hand up and says, "We might stay back for a moment and let you begin whatever this is. If we see it goes well, we might follow from a distance. I'm not entirely comfortable joining at your sides. If anything happens, I will need to see to his safety."
You got that magic cloth with you?
Yes.
Okay, it's gonna be useful. Just keep it with you, just in case.
Okay. You look scary.
Anything I can give him?
I'm supposed to be scary.
Are you going to scare the bad guys that attacked us?
Jerry will start juggling and like try to make like on one foot, like
An odd sight to see such an imposing figure be a jester for a moment. A figure that looks like this, by the way, that you've disguised yourself as. Did that pop up for people?
No.
No.
I bet it needs to be on the respective map, I suppose. Which I'm now realizing probably didn't pop up when I did that a couple times throughout this session.
I saw the wolf.
Yeah, I saw the wolf. I didn't see the other thing.
That's probably because you were on that map at the time.
Was this
Yeah,
your
that guy-
commission piece?
That guy
Yes,
juggled.
this was the commission, yeah.
Pretty sick.
Wolf.
So fucking cool. Yeah,
Well, there's a
Yuri,
sword.
we're gonna capture them, and we're gonna make sure that they get punished for being mean to you and your village.
Oh yeah, we're gonna torture them for sure.
Yeah, then we'll take it back, right?
Yep.
After this first step, then we'll move on to step 2 of the plan.
And then you'll come with me to Jolland, little dude. You're gonna help me take it over.
Okay, so Jiri, you're gonna be. You want to bring them into you, and once this goes off, just I do this on you all the time. You know this already, but if you get too far away from me, the kind of bond will go away, but your shiny weapon will stay around no matter where you go. Well, actually, that's going to go away when I choose it to, but just get them in. We'll be close, and we'll spring a trap.
All right. Keyword when to attack is equipment inspection.
I like it.
Beautiful.
Toby will cast False Life on himself at. I didn't prepare any 4th level spells today, so I'm going to do a 4th level spell. So a d4 plus 19.
Really, can you make me shiny?
Don't think I can. I can.
Okay.
I was literally looking to see if there's a way I could do it, but
I think the shiny weapon you're going to be holding might be a good enough trick.
Oh, also, it's really dark out. Like,
Yeah,
It's
the
like-
sun is setting and it is
Oh,
slowly but
okay.
surely getting darker, and it's only probably early evening, but at this time of year it gets dark so early.
yeah. Jir, I think the weird shiny sheenness of the Arknight's armor is would be dimmed anyway. So I think we should be fine there.
Okay, I'm ready. You guys ready?
I'm ready. I will cast Warding Bond on Jiri as well. And as we're really ready to go, I will cast Holy Weapon on Jiri's sword.
And Jerry will also cast puffy armor on himself.
Okay. Everyone making sure to mark off their relevant spell slots for this, please. And then is it Jiri and Roulette moving forward together at first as a Durastian knight accompanying the Arc Knight?
And we're staying close,
You're all within
but hiding.
30, 60, 30. Okay.
Certainly within 60.
Okay. This is going to be, since there's more individuals accompanying, this is going to be a group. Jiri and Roulette are exempt from this, but I need Alfie, Toby, Rama, Rome, and Telperion to make another stealth check, still with the benefit of pass without a trace at this time.
Awesome.
With aid and puffy armor, I have above 100 HP right now.
With my false life, I'm above 100 HP right now.
Gross.
Damn. Is that plus the 10, Mike?
Yes,
Yeah.
still plus with the, oh, that's with the 10. Okay. We got 17. We got Roulette, is that for Alfie? Is that a 21 total for Alfie?
22.
Yeah, okay. 22, got it. 17, 22.
22 for Toby.
33 for Rome.
Okay. Perfect. With that in mind, we will bring our two intruders onto this map. Jiri, you should have control over the Arc Knight token. Roulette, you should have control over the Durastian Soldier token. Knight, specifically Durastian Knight armor was specified.
What could go wrong?
Do I have a helmet?
Yeah, you can have a helmet.
Perfect.
Yeah, as part of the close of
Yeah,
Habitash, which is amazing keyword. Yeah, you all begin to approach, and immediately with the glowing weapon and no stealth as your armor is clinking a bit, Roulette specifically, as well, Jiri's too, from different type of armor. But you immediately draw the focus of a couple of these individuals who turn is like, oh my god. Soldiers, at attention! And they immediately like right themselves a bit and say, is that him? No way, he's not supposed. Why would he be coming from that direction? You see them sort of hushedly like conversing with themselves rapidly, very alert to your arrival, not sure whether their confusion or obedience should take place right now. But you definitely have all of these individuals on their back foot. Soldiers, about your business, I'll go commune. And this individual begins to move forward as you guys start arriving.
I'm just gonna like kind of try to like dominate the scene and just be like, soldiers, to me, immediately. Into formation.
You heard the talent. Grab your gear and follow. And you begin to pull the attention of all of these individuals, including the ones at the campfire, who immediately get up. And we'll say over the course of these moments, surround you.
Form ranks.
And by the time they get close to you, I'm going to say, Jiri, your attention is sort of on this performative effort. Roulette, you can, probably with your passive investigation, usually perception, but still, based on Toby Rama's suggestion that there was this large beast, you see that this commotion, sort of, you heard a grunt from over in this direction, but based on your vantage point, you can't tell necessarily what's going on with that large woven figure, but it's not following all the soldiers. But Jiri, go ahead and please make a deception or performance check with advantage per your feat.
I am standing silent, just at full attention, like regarding the Talon.
Yeah, not to dismiss what you're doing here by any means, but your presence here is so lesser than right now that you don't even need to make a persuasion or performance check at this point. With a 19, I will give their sort of the one who had called all of them to attention. he doesn't have any reason to suspect you right now, so we'll roll off his passive insight. But you see them all very attentively standing at attention. Talon, we didn't expect your arrival. What is there news from Forest Hollow or further toward the capital?
The situation has changed. We are in immediate danger. Follow me. And I'm going to turn around and just expect them to follow me this way a little bit.
Soldier, you alert the others. The rest of us will follow.
No.
And the one who commands this one...
That was not my
will
orders.
give a single order.
I said all of you with me immediately. There was no time to warn the others.
With that, being given two different orders from, yes, a person of wild significance and stature, but also more protocol-based, I know what I've been told right now, make an intimidation check. This is going to be not a crazy high DC, but a meaningful DC for this guy specifically to listen to the orders of this guy or you.
I would like to think to tell Pyrian something. Will you tell Jiri, if it seems like it's not going to work, to try and get close to them? That will work the best.
Where are we right now?
You're like 30 feet off screen, hiding in the brush. You probably don't have line of sight on any of these individuals based on where you're hiding, but you can hear the conversation that Jiri has started.
Okay. I mean, I think back to Toby. I'll have to see him to do that.
With the 16, that single individual says, "Apologies, Talon. I just have to alert the Reaver. I'll be back with haste," and begins to run off this direction. As he starts to run, the rest of them show their intent in following you. After a few steps of this, are you comfortable with one leaving, or are you going to take action in this moment?
I'm going to go to whoever ordered them, and I'm going to say, "Commander, how dare you disobey my orders? Bring that guard back immediately. Bring that soldier back immediately."
Apologies, Talon. We've been commanded via Thane Gaspard to listen to the Reaver's commands. We're currently posted here recuperating supplies from some wood elven village that we burned.
Do you know who you speak to?
I'm sorry,
I
Talon.
am commanding you now. Bring that soldier back immediately. How dare you disobey orders?
And as you continue saying that, this soldier had continued their trek that way. He's definitely like being humble and obeying you, but has not stopped the command at this point. Apologies, Talon. We will bring all of our soldiers to you at once. We know your authority is over that of the Thane or Reaver. Just need to make them alert to your presence.
I have already warned them. They already know. What don't you understand about this command? I need every single one of these soldiers to me immediately.
Apologies, Talon. It seems he has already made his way back to the others.
Come to me.
Oh
Kneel.
my God, he's gonna piss out.
Walks up to you and sheepishly kneels. I apologize, your Talon. I thought chain of command. What will you have of me?
These others, soldiers, come to me as well. You must see this. This is what happens when you disobey me.
They will
Love
join.
this.
It's time. It's time for a weapons inspection.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Drop your weapons immediately.
And
I will say they can drop their weapons and your sort of call sign has been issued. What do you do?
Toby will utilize a bonus action to cause the holy weapon to burst with radiance. And these four will need need to
Mhm.
make a Constitution saving throw. On a fail, they take 4d8 radiant damage and are blinded for a minute. On a success, half damage, not blinded.
Toby,
Okay.
does that? Am I out of range of that?
I can choose the creatures
Oh,
within
neat.
30 feet of the weapon.
Neat.
You choose the creatures. So effectively, are you ending concentration, or are you doing a thing that ends
It
concentration?
is a bonus action to... Oh. I can dismiss the spell and cause the weapon to emit. I was going to say, if I could
so
just
it's
do that
you're
with keeping the spell
yeah.
up.
So you're ending the spell in this eruption of blinding light issues from Jiri, not affecting Jiri and not affecting Roulette.
Correct.
Okay. We'll go top guy, left guy, center guy, right
Wow.
guy. This guy manages to steal himself a bit, but what damage would they take?
That'll be 4, 8. 21, so 10 for the guy who saved.
With this aggressive action being taken, I'm just going to switch up the music here.
And if possible, that was a bonus action. I would like to do something with my action as well.
Yeah, you guys can have effectively, that's a bonus action of your all surprise round. You were successfully stealthed. We'll get into the initiative count on that in a minute. Don't roll initiative quite yet. I got to do a thing, but 1, 2, 3. And this guy's injured a bit less. And these 3 are blinded. Ah! You hear 3 Wilhelm screams as those guys are eviscerated with a blinding, searing radiance that just chars most of their bodies. And all of them look around, not being able to see, and you can see the heavy burn scars across their faces and uncovered, unarmored portions of their body. They look wildly injured. This guy was the only one who held a bit more. With that, I'm going to start moving some. I'm going to make available some of you guys to be seen on the map here. With you doing that, Toby, I'll say you're the closest. Just to fit you guys on the screen. We will add our other participants there. With this, let's go ahead and roll initiative at this point.
Are we like right up to the where everybody is at this point, or are we still away?
I put you guys on the map. You guys were able to be roughly as close as you're shown here. For convenience.
Could I have already cast Fire Shield prior to running up to here, or no?
I'm gonna say you hadn't specified that yet, and you do have a surprise round where you could do that kind of thing here, so not yet.
Oh, okay. So this is the surprise round. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, we haven't quite tackled the surprise round yet, because effectively you guys all get to go before they can even react to most things.
Oh my god.
It's a low initiative thing.
Why did none of my initiative rolls attach to my Durastians? That is annoying.
It's been too long since we killed some Durastians.
That is so frustrating.
It really has. When was the last time?
In
I
the
think
mirror battle,
Yeah.
or
Oh yeah.
mirror.
From there we went to Kilodine, to Korital, to the Barrens, now to here.
Well, it's been a long time.
Killed any Durastians.
Hmm.
I'm hoping to get a 4 shot right now.
Oh, you lined yourself up in a way, didn't you? or
Wow.
certainly have the option to.
Roll 20 is fucking me right now. Sorry.
You're good.
You got a 7. You got a 22. got a 4. And you got a 5. And then this guy, 11. And I forgot to roll for this final guy. I bet I was on like the wrong layer or some bullshit. Let's see if this will work now. A 19. And it doesn't look like it added him either. Okay, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. But with that, it is this guy's turn. Slowly reels, can't see, but pulls out a short sword like sheepishly to start trying to defend himself. He's effectively removes the surprised condition from himself, has his reaction available, but otherwise can't do anything. Then it is this guy's turn. He had already been given orders, so his first turn is just effectively dashing off screen past this Wolven individual and disappearing. Then next turn is Roulette. You are the first to act of your group in this surprise effort. You can clearly identify the ones that were blinded versus the one who seems to like be recovering a little bit better.
I am going to take a step back, and I'm going to like kneel down as if I'm prostrating myself. I'm going to pick up a handful of sand, and I'm going to use a new spell. I'm going to cast Conjure Barrage.
Oh.
And I this is a DM discretion. You can make me pick up a shell if you want, but I want to use the handful of sand as the Conjure Barrage in a 60-foot cone, hitting all 4 of these guys.
Okay. Yeah, it's very clever and creative, so I'll say it works. In general, I might ask you just to lean into the direction of a damaging device that you're using.
I'll pick a shell.
This is cool.
I'm going to pick up a shell.
Yeah, that's super fair.
Yeah.
You pick up a shell and conjure this spell. What happens?
So I pick a point, and I'm just going to pick like this spot right here, and it goes in a 60-foot cone. So in this direction, getting all 4 of these guys off into the sea. And essentially, as I do my whispering and verbal and material components of this object, a cloud of shells multiplies and just like into a 60-foot cone. I'm gonna say piercing feels like the correct one for that one.
Definitely. And the cone does not have to originate from you.
Oh no, it is self. Sorry. Yeah. Self. So I will move myself to there. Sorry. Okay. I'll move myself to there. Prostrating myself, picking up that shell, and
the individual behind you, as you cast a spell, is like, spellcaster, and then looks and sees your face behind the. No.
Whoops.
And that's all he can get out.
60-foot cone, dex saving throw, 3d8 damage.
Okay. We'll start with the guy closest to you. Dex save. He might make it. And then top guy.
Yeah.
Do they have disadvantage?
This guy might make it.
They have disadvantage because they're blind.
Do they on dex saves?
I'm assuming so. That's just a.
Blinded.
Blind.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it real quick. Blinded, can't see, automatically it fails any ability check that requires sight. Attack rolls against have advantage, and it has disadvantage. It does not automatically fail saving throws. So I'm going to say he basically hears you casting a spell and is going to try and jump out of the way. He can't see what you're doing. Or the guy in front of you can see, but the rest of them are just going to try and dive. Down! This guy yells, and all of them are just going to try and drop. So they'll still get their saves, but
Yeah, so clustered very
There you go.
that guy still fails.
easily.
And then the guy on the left.
Oh,
Most of them are able to fall pretty quickly. How much damage would this be?
17.
3d8.
17. This guy, you just see him sprayed with shells, riddling him, and he falls over to the ground. The rest of them are able to jump to the side or down before righting themselves again, taking only half as much. That guy still looks pretty bad. This guy's on death's door, and this guy's on death's door. So they are wildly low health after that attack.
Bonus action, 2 charges of the Wand of Magic Missile from Alfie, 2 darts going at the alive guy, and then 1 each on the other 2.
Okay. Go
I'm just
ahead and
gonna roll-
roll. Yeah. Go
I'm
ahead and
rolling-
roll for the only the guy nearest you.
So it's 2d4
2d4 plus
2.
2.
So 8 damage to him.
You see those detonate in his existing wounds, blowing chunks of flesh off his body, and he drops to a knee and barely says, "Is this an infiltration? Is that even the Talon?" And that's all he can say as the other 2 drop dead from your magic missiles from Alfie.
Nevis.
And I'm just
Will
staying
that
there
do
on
it
my
for
knee.
Roulette?
Yeah. Yep, that's my whole thing.
Toby Rama. So your bonus action as part of the surprise round was sort of that burst of light, we'll say. That didn't really work out in the order, but functionally, we'll say you had done that first, but now you have your action or whatever.
Action. I don't want to waste this on him because he's so struggling. Yeah, I'll just give him from nowhere. He just hears a terrible sound in his mind, and I'll do Toll the Dead, meaning a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. He grits his teeth and tries to resist.
That is a fail.
But you just see blood ooze from his ears and his eyes, and he goes limp and falls over backwards as he had insanely low health as well. Anything else for Toby?
I'll just kind of move over to Jiri and say, if that guy comes back with soldiers, we can keep this kind of going, but again, just let me stay kind of near you. 60 feet is the lucky number.
Can't hear you,
Muted.
Jiri, if you're responding.
Can I respond without using any action or anything like that?
Yeah, you can quick conversations as long as they're small, can be free.
I'm going after him.
In that case, I might lead by my remaining 10 or so feet.
Okay.
And that's it.
Telperion, you're up.
I think I'll start doing Dark Knight voice. I think I'll beat you there, Jerry. Shall I go get him myself? And I'm gonna take off unless someone tells me not to. I'm gonna
You hear
do
5 people think into your mind all at once.
yeah. Anyone want? So if the group tells me to, I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna bonus action fly. And then I need
Giving yourself 80 feet of movement, flying speed, right?
yeah.
Go up in a tree.
So I want to go. Can someone help me out? Do you see where my little arrow is?
That's at 80 right now.
Yeah, will someone just hover there, like ping that spot so I can move to up here? And I have to look off camera.
Yep.
I have to like scroll to get him. So I just need someone to hold that for me. Thank you. So bonus action to to get myself a flight speed of 80. So I'll move 80, and then I'll action surge to fly another 80. I want to grab this dude and start flying him back if possible. I know he's off screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Feel it.
So as you get here and begin your dash attempt,
Yeah.
You see this creature now for the first time standing up, freed from its restful state, and sees you and just bares its teeth and growls as you begin to pass. With another 80 feet of movement, that individual is somewhat well off screen. You might be able to catch up to him, but he's in tree foliage cover. I need you to make a perception check to be able to locate his current spot.
Okay. 6.
You know the general direction he went, but you don't currently have line of sight on him.
Is that prior to that? Well, I've action searched to get off to do this. Well,
You've gotten here is where kind of the check is before you start dashing into the forest.
Action search has not been used yet.
Yeah, you can choose to go search for him basically, or you can pause and do whatever else you want to do.
yeah, I mean, I want to do what I can to get to him. So I have a general notion that he's in front of me somewhere in this foliage, you're saying?
Yeah, you saw where he breached the forest. You just don't currently see him. And you're mid-momentum right now. Are you choosing to dash or slow?
I want to dash because I'm just going to shove
Okay.
off after him. I want to...
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, you don't necessarily even need to functionally action surge because you have your action available to you that you can dash right now.
Yeah, I'll use my action to dash. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so you dash. I'll say for free now, choosing to dash all the way. You land, and then that's when your ears are able to pick him up, and he's 20 feet from you, but you haven't quite gotten to him yet.
But I have used my action to get to 20 feet from him.
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll functionally put you and maybe him just like over here in the screen just to sort of represent where you are.
Okay. I'm going to action search then. And I think I'll throw 2 slivers at him. Because I can't really... I have no other action available.
Closer to him?
I could action search to get to him, but I'd have to grab him, which is another action, I think. So like,
or at least one attack of an attack.
I guess
action, yeah.
when you fly, have you forfeited your ability to use normal movement?
I already used it.
He's used all of his movement.
Okay. So I have one action surge to stop him, and doing 2 slivers might just be the best I can do to hinder him right now. Yeah, I don't think if I action search to get to him physically, yeah, I'll just 2 sliver him. I'll try to hurt him really bad.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. I guess we'll say you had your slivers out for this.
Yeah, I
so
did because I was like,
to,
I was at a distance with my stealthing, so I was gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead and attack twice.
11 plus something. 11 plus 10. 21.
Does he have anything? 11 plus 21. 11 plus 10. Yes, absolutely hits.
All right, so this is a d6 plus a d6. So 4 plus 6 is 10 plus a psionic. So plus so 13, 14, 15, 16 damage on the first hit. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, so 16 damage on the first hit, and he has to do a save, and he can go prone if he fails to save.
Okay.
Nice.
16 damage. Strength save, you said?
Yeah, he has to beat my DC, which I think is 15.
You see this sliver, just the arc of it's beautiful, and right as it injures his back, it just a concussion of telekinetic energy knocks him to the ground, prone.
And now I'm at disadvantage, but I'll just swing my second sliver at him. He's
Okay,
prone. That's all that matters.
Yeah, go ahead and roll at disadvantage.
4 plus 10 is 14, I think. Yeah. 14.
4 plus 10 is 14 total.
Yeah.
That one you throw and it just embeds itself in the earth just shy of his leg where he had fallen.
That's all I got.
Okay. This beast begins sprinting after you.
Is this still
Seeing
the
someone
surprise
not
round?
a
So does it
Durastian.
get to do anything?
It was not surprised by anything you guys did earlier, and now seeing someone fly past that's not in Durastine armor, it does have its freedom to act at this time. But it has a lot of movement speed, and it's a little further from you than this map suggests. But with its 50 movement speed, it's easily able to cover that. And Telperion, as you just threw both of those slivers at it, you just hear running behind you, and right as you turn, you see it mid-air lunging toward you. As this creature tries a pounce attack for a claw. 13's not gonna hit. But it does impact you, and I need you to please make a strength saving throw. It doesn't slash into you, but the force of its momentum ending at your location, it knocks into you, and you have to try not to be forced to the ground.
28.
28. You just resist. You pull up your sword or your hands or whatever.
Oh, I just bring it to my side.
Perfect. So and your just feet dig into the ground and push a little bit, but you prevent yourself from falling and prevent its ability to make an additional attack on you at this time. So it has gotten. What?
Can I react with my cloak?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dex save, please.
Okay.
I shouldn't use reaction, but
that's a fail.
So it takes 7 lightning damage.
7 lightning. Got it. You don't hear it whimper, but like a different pitch of growl definitely comes from it as that licks across its fur and definitely chars bits of it, and it just bares its teeth at you again. And then with this guy, he's dead. Rome, it is your turn.
So I had a quick question. When we had previously scouted this out, was there any indication that this like wolf-like creature is just like misunderstood and mistreated? Like maybe is like not evil and good?
I will give you. This is intelligence-based, not wisdom-based. This is a nature check.
Nature. All right. Probably don't know anything.
Oh, you hear Yuri's voice in your mind saying, "All wolves are evil."
Yeah, you don't know anything about the physiologies or natures of that creature, whether they're easily domesticated or feral or what their circumstance is, and definitely Jiri's mentality's maybe creeping in.
All right. I'm just gonna polymorph into a dinosaur.
Okay.
One and down, T-Rex.
Yes, T-Rex.
And I will throw this guy.
Yes.
My fucking
I
God.
love it.
I'm gonna keep Rome on the map just so we don't ruin initiative stuff. But yeah, you should have control of the T-Rex.
And can I move as a T-Rex? Like, can I move my 50 feet or no?
Yeah, absolutely. It was just your action to polymorph, so you have all the movement available from the T-Rex.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to, let's see, 50 feet from here is like there.
You hear limbs and tree boughs cracking and breaking as your form swells in the space, and then out from the tree cover runs a T-Rex.
I pull Toby out of the way as she's running by.
Yep, I'm here now.
Perfect. If that'll do it for Rome, then that guy's dead. Jiri, you're the next one up. Still looking like the Arc Knight.
I'll just quickly say this guy's still alive, right? Right.
That's me.
This is roulette.
Oh, we killed everybody?
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
And
Everyone in
Telperion's
front of
chasing
you
down.
has been destroyed by holy weapons, shards of shells, and otherwise.
I will take the dash action.
Okay.
Run 80 feet, and I think this is about where Telperion started looking for that guy.
Yeah.
And then when I get to there, I'll use my bonus action to cast what's was that?
Great with my object interaction. I guess I would have pulled out a sword after I threw my slivers.
Okay.
My Vapor Step ability, which is the Far Step spell. And so I will teleport 60 feet forward, trying to get next to Telperion, next to this guy who's prone.
Okay. You're definitely able to see the large form of the thing pass up in the trees, attacking Telperion. You're not sure exactly where the Drastian soldier is in this moment, but you can certainly teleport in that direction.
Then I will try to put myself in front of the thing that is attacking Telperion.
Okay. As long as that's within your range to teleport, you're more than welcome to do that.
I think it is because I had 80 feet and you said I was 20 feet away from the guy, so I think I only made it 60 feet into the woods. Ish.
No, I think you had gone 80 feet and he was an additional 20 feet away from you. You weren't able to reach him. Yeah.
Smart.
So Jiri can get pretty close to you, but probably almost basically flanking with this creature, I think, but probably not.
Well, hold on. If
Telperion
Telperion went 80 feet and I've already ran 80 feet, don't I have an extra 60 feet on top of that?
No, Telperion went 160 feet total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80 feet twice.
He did two 80s. You did an 80 and then are attempting a 60. Yeah,
Okay.
so you're just a little shy. But if are you attempting to teleport over to his direction?
Yeah, as close as I can get, and then I will issue a command to the prone Drastian soldier, and I will say, "This is what you get for disobeying orders. Remain on the ground."
I'm gonna give him, with this sort of situation happening and an elvish creature attacking him, I'm gonna give him an insight check.
Do I look like an elf?
Look at you.
You're not. It's a ruse. Everyone! Everyone! He just starts trying to yell. You're not sure if he's within audible distance of whoever he's yelling to, but anything else from Jiri?
Well, did I get to roll against his 18?
No, not currently. You guys are engaged in combat. It would be an action. Well, I guess, do you have your action available? No, you dashed.
No.
So yeah, no action economy available. He's definitely scared of you. You're still an intimidating presence, but he's learning to trust his own insight that you're not maybe either the Talon or acting as the normal Talon might. That'll conclude your turn, I think. Action, movement, bonus action.
Yep. That's it.
It's not that Durastian's turn. He's dead. It'll be this Durastian's turn. He will get to his feet and functionally dash. You guys are going to be able to catch up to him next turn fairly easily, but I'm going to give him basically one attempt to try and warn whoever he's going to warn. So I'm going to give someone else a single perception roll to see if they can hear him. I'll say, if they roll above a 15, they hear him.
Hey.
No! You hear his voice, his yell, echo into the forest, and you guys just suspect if there are allies off in that direction, they probably heard that yell. But then, Roulette, it's technically your turn next, unless we'd like to simplify the rest of this initiative count to track that guy down who's well within some of you guys' dashing range.
I don't know how far away.
Well, you guys also are probably far away that you don't know what's transpiring over here.
We
Some of
maybe
that's true,
heard
yeah.
some of the
You hear
shouts.
commotion, a shouting, yeah.
I'm gonna just run 30 feet into like this area. I'm Toby. They're far away. I'm gonna hide in here somewhere. I don't know. I'm gonna keep moving forward, but slowly. And then bonus action, I will have Alfie dash to me. Oh, Alfie can actually get pretty far. I'll action dash, bonus action to have Alfie dash. I'm gonna get like down to here, like to the bottom part of the screen, like here-ish, just to start following.
Okay, because his movement is what, and he's gonna dash.
He's 40, I'm 30, so I can get down to like here, finding the spot where Jiri and Perion went in, and then Alfie can do 80, which would be
So a Velociraptor-esque ostrich metal bird running after the T-Rex and probably passing the T-Rex.
Oh, I can't control him. Oh, there we go.
If he goes full diagonal, he can get really far.
Well, he's not going to go through the bars.
That kind of abuses. That also kind
Correct.
of abuses Roll20's absolutely stupid math system.
Sure.
Because it measures the longest distance, so you can go down 80, and you can stretch that so far before it's considered 85. It's so dumb.
That's my turn. Action, dash, bonus action, have Alfie dash.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Continuing to give chase. Toby Rama, are you trying to catch up as well?
Yeah, so I'm gonna run up to Rome. Let's go to the tail, I guess. And if I'm adjacent, can I grab onto her tail and then like shout something to her?
Yeah.
Can you lift me up on top of you, Rome? I'll say, and I guess just be prepared to, I guess, handle that transfer. But that'll be my turn.
Okay. Perfect. And then Telperion is next, who is well within his distance to close on that individual. Could take some damage as he goes, possibly. Telperion, you are up. Are you gonna chase down that guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he 40 feet away from me?
20 dash. He's probably 80 feet, so it's gonna take you a full 80 to get to him. Because he dashed. He was already 20, and he moved 60. So he's 80 feet away.
He should have moved 45.
He was prone.
He prone.
Oh, you're absolutely right. So, yeah, 45 away. So, yeah, just outside of a 60. Oh, but your dash can get you there.
If I fly, so I just have to decide.
You just have more movement than most people. So, like, a 65, you could get that with a dash if you wanted.
Because 70, if you have 35, would be.
I'm gonna bonus action to fly again, so I'll have a movement of 80, and then I can just kill him or hit him.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So let me go mark my side die off, so don't forget. So I'll use the side die this time.
Perfect. The Wolven figure will attempt to bite at you as you start to leave. Does a 19 hit you?
Ring of protection, baby.
As you evade its maw, you can see how powerful its jaws are, and just the way it gnashed. You suspect, and you learn about this creature real quick, that would have grappled you. That would have prevented you from moving. Just so you know, you've effectively learned that its bite attack grapples.
Wow.
As I'm leaving, I think to Jiri, don't get caught in that thing's mouth.
Or do, and then burn it up.
Or I can keep its mouth busy.
It'll grapple you if you do, and I'm flying away.
So you fly away. You're able to close the distance easily, or even get around him and prevent his continuation.
Yeah, Superman it.
Okay, so, are you attacking?
Yeah, I'm gonna do 2 great sword attacks.
Okay.
28.
Definitely hits.
2d6 plus 6. Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 6 is 14.
It is.
Yeah, 14 damage. Yeah, 14 damage to him. And yeah, those 2 regular 14 damage.
Okay.
Nothing fancy yet.
Slice him. How do you attack him with that swipe?
I think this is cool. So I'm flying and I get my sword, and I think I like rest my sword on the back of his neck as I finish turning around to come front face with him. So I'm just like slashing down onto his like clavicle.
Very cool. You see his he staggers in his gait as that slashes into him. Definitely heavily wounded.
Okay, and one more attack roll to try to finish him off. 27.
Definitely hits.
Ooh, 2 5s. Adding another d6. A 3. So 10 plus 6 is 16, 17, 18, 19 damage.
Okay. I've asked this before, and I do want to just ask it again so we kind of cohese on our common understanding. Are you when you're dealing the damage right now, are you choosing to spend a side eye or not?
I haven't yet chosen. So I'm at 19 damage.
I just want to ask you because I think I'm going to lean away from being like, oh, you did 12 and he's not dead yet. Okay, now tack it on. I think I want you to choose to expend it on the hit.
Yeah, usually I make the decision before I know if it resolves.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we.
So I did 19. I will not because I'll have an attack of opportunity.
Okay. How do you kill him?
So I did that cool turnaround, and then I'm just going to go for the other clavicle and just put him to the ground.
Okay. You just drop him. The Wolven individual, as you close that distance, is still a threat here and can do some damage. So the initiative's not done. But I'm going to say for the purpose of Alex needing to head away from here, you're more than free to head out when you need to, because we'll just essentially clean up this guy, see how much damage he does to anyone. The bigger thing to know is when we pick back up after this, you guys know another threat is just a voice call away. So we'll probably pick back up there next time. But Alex, you're free to head out, and we'll see if this guy can do any damage.
Perfect, thank you. Toby can operate me virtually through.
Tobysaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Cool.
See you, Chris. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Alex.
Bye.
Peace.
I'll use my remaining 15 movement just to start clearing the woods and kind of knowing I want to get away from where that guy was and lead the wolf thing away. But that's my movement, that's my action, that's my bonus action, so that's all I got.
This creature is going to risk an attack of opportunity, leaving Jiri's space. Jiri, are you going to attack him as he leaves?
Yes.
Okay. Please make your attack roll with disadvantage. As the musculature on this creature moves with such strange physiology and densely packed muscle in ways you can't predict, its erratic movement just propels it with acceleration in a way you didn't expect. However, you do still impact it for what looks like 15 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you definitely hear it actually whimper that time as you cut heavily into one of its hind legs. But seeing Telperian's trajectory, this thing's going to run, trying to utilize its max movement, not max movement, but enough movement to turn and pounce again on the prey that escaped it the first time. For a claw attack. But I do need you to make a strength save again, as although you're preventing it from tearing into you, it does still impact you.
25.
25, and once again you catch it and just grunt yourself, but are not knocked down. And you're like holding its throat and its scruff, and it's just right in your face. With that, all the Jurassians are dead. It is Rome and Toby's turn.
She will lift up Toby onto her back. I don't know if you want that to take any action economy to.
It'll spend some of her movement to sort of
object interaction.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, she's so large that it's not going to take a bunch of movement, but you'll have 40 feet left of available movement.
Then she'll dash to flank and be fucking terrifying to this thing.
Okay.
With Telperian. Oh.
Sorry, we're both trying to interact there. Perfect. It definitely does look up. Still gritting its teeth.
And there's I was hoping there was like a charge thing, but no, that was just the action to dash up behind it, and that's it.
Okay. With that, it'll be Jiri next.
All right, I will. How far away is this wolf?
The map should be somewhat accurate at this point. I think we've finished a couple of the issues.
Okay.
Where is
I
my
didn't
distance
know
calculator?
if there was. Okay, so I can just run up to it.
Oh, weird. My distance calculator. Oh, my roll 20, man. But yeah, you might be able to absolutely just close that distance yourself.
I will stroll on up to it, and would this be flanking with the T-Rex?
Absolutely. Yep.
And I will take 2 attacks at it.
Okay, go ahead and roll with advantage. $25 and 25 will definitely hit more than enough damage. How do you end this thing's life?
36 damage. Jiri will run up to it, and he will take his sword and he'll slam it right through skull down to the jaw, like a big, like, kind of front flip, like stab. Yeah.
Perfect. As you do this finishing move, you land and just pin it to the ground.
Conquer the wolf, Jerry.
Yeah, those wolves are always evil. We didn't take any prisoners like we were supposed to, but
I think we're
it
gonna
sounds
have
like there is more of them coming. Maybe we could keep the ruse up. Maybe I'll pretend to be Dark Knight still.
Did we hear? Did we hear what the guy shouted?
I kind of forget the literal words I said.
You said he just yelled.
Or like,
Yeah, he was just
help.
like yelling, "Help! Help! Help!" So I would say that's what he said.
For that,
We've-
you and I should go meet whoever's coming this way.
Sure.
Maybe I'll just become a regular soldier.
Oh, that's true.
And out of his mouth will come another kind of illusion and cover him, and he'll be the guy that we just killed.
And Tyrannosaurus Rome will grab the dead body and drag it over to like.
I'll bring it to you because I was while they were doing this. I go grab the dead body. I also don't want the T-Rex in the jungle.
And then
breaking up all those
dispose
plants.
of the body in this like central tree bank.
Okay.
I loot his pockets as I do it.
And
Go ahead and make a stealth check just for the effort of hiding the body in case that comes into play in any sense.
Should I use the Tyrannosaurus as stealth or?
Oh, if the Tyrannosaurus is just dragging it over there, it's just
Or
like
getting
laying
it up
there,
in its
so-
maw and then gonna deposit it there.
Sure, yeah, yeah, you can roll with the Tyrannosaurus's stealth.
Okay, so it's just 1-0.
Okay, so it grabs it and then just blech, and it just the body just falls. There's foliage there. It's in some cover. It's just not fully matted and packed and okay.
Do we want to set another ambush, or do we want to ward them off when they arrive?
I want to kill
Ambush,
every
ambush,
Jurassic we
ambush.
find.
Okay, ambush.
Jiri, I'm not sure. I probably won't be able to help out a second time. I'm not dressed the part because I'm assuming I'm dressed like a different Durastian style armor than the Durastian foot soldiers here.
You've disguised yourself as a knight, functionally with an 18 AC. Generally, they have either plate armor or chainmail and shield.
Yeah.
Typically, definitely higher authority than the default infantrymen soldiers walking around this beach right now.
Okay.
Because I know Rome
Whether that's
has-
a problem or not, you're not sure.
Rome has expended, a fairly sizable resource in this, so I think making use of her in her big form, we can ambush. Do we just charge into town if it's only
think they're gonna-
one person that comes, or do we think they'll bring?
I'm going to say even during the course of this minor planning portion, seconds are going by to having dropped the individual off in the thing. Rome's polymorph that I think lasts, maybe it's not a minute, maybe it's an hour. I'll need Rome to confirm that, but might be running out. If it's a minute, it's going to run out. If it's an hour, it's going to last longer. I just can't remember the spell.
Duration 1 hour. Duration.
Okay, so she's okay to stay here in this form for a while.
I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna use a telekinetic movement, and I want to move the corpse of the wolf to where it was hanging out, and I'm gonna ask Roulette, give me a stone that makes a slight guttural growling sound. Did you hear it? So that way,
snoring kind of thing.
Yeah, and then we'll put it under the thing, so then they might just think it's in the darkness. It's just sleeping.
I'll make 2 of them. And I'll put, because it's like a 5 or 10 foot radius, I think I'll put one at like either corner of the, or like underneath the dead flaps of this thing.
Okay. Shifting it over here, suggesting it might be sleeping rather than slain. Okay.
And then I'll burn a psionic recovery to gain a side eye back. So
where do you want Rome and I to be hidden, ready to launch
in that central forest area? I'd say
inside it.
Yeah,
we'll see if we'll try and hide in there. Oh, is Pass Without Trace concentration?
Yes,
that's not active now because polymorph is also.
Yeah. I was wondering if that would carry over.
Toby, how long does it take you to talk to dead people?
How long does it take me to talk to dead people? It does not take me any time. I have it prepared because we were planning to whatchamacallit, I can talk to it, this one in the forest, while we wait if we want to ask it questions.
Yeah, talk to this dead guy that I'm pretending to be. Figure out what his name is and what they're doing, and then that'll help me trick them.
I will cast Speak with Dead. I didn't see he didn't see me kill it on this creature right next to us. And what is Speak with Dead? It is an action to cast. It lasts for 10 minutes or until I ask the 5 questions. Right? Does it say that?
I get my slippers back.
Mouth, usually brief. I can just kind of ignore it at that point. But I will cast Speak with Dead on this guy.
Okay. Tobirama, give me just a deception roll, because you were allied with the fighters, but it might not have ever seen you as part of this encounter since it was far from you. So this is, if you get above a 10, it will not recognize you as an enemy. If you get under a 10, it's going to recognize that even though you weren't the one that killed it, you were an intruder.
Oh!
I thought that was a 6. Oh, I hate the 6 and 9 being next to each other so much.
You don't think this individual had seen you in that entire conflict. So you're all good to go. You cast your spell. Once, similarly to how you are used to, the body sort of buoys a little bit off the ground, levitating a couple inches, and mist just coalesces around them, entering into the crevices of their eyes, their nose, their mouth, their ears. And you hear like the semblance of breath take its mouth.
Okay, I will ask, what is your name? It could be George, I don't...
He's thinking of a name. Got nothing on a name.
Devrin.
What is your rank?
Infantryman.
Who is your commanding officer?
The Reaver.
What was your task on this beach?
Raid available supplies from the attack zone.
How many soldiers are stationed entire attack zone.
Trying to think if there's anything that would affect his ability to answer an accurate count. How many total includes he and his allies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus these. What was your specific question? How many
were
of you
stationed
are
stationed in the attack zone? Since he used that phrase, I will repeat it.
Yep, got it. 8 infantrymen. Plus the 5, 13 infantrymen. So therefore you gather that there's 8 more infantrymen up ahead.
I assume Jiri kind of walked over, and then I'll tell him, "You're Devrin, an infantryman. You answer to the Reaver. You were here to raid or gather supplies from the raid, and there should be 8 more infantrymen. Whether or not that includes the Reaver, I'm not sure."
Got it.
So
all
if
right.
it's 8 of them, we know that's all of them.
Also,
if there's
Toby
one,
Rama and Jiri, during this conversation, both of you can make a history check.
Oh, Fern's what we're looking at.
For me?
Jiri and Toby Rama,
Oh,
two
boy.
individuals
Durast.
hailing originally from Durast, can make a history check.
Yeah.
Jeebus.
Jiri, there's like a ring of familiarity with the word Reaver, but for many reasons, your memories are fuzzy from back then.
Dr. Jolin!
Toby Rama, even with a 10, the name Reaver is familiar enough to remember. A Reaver is one type of sort of elevated unit under the Wraith Watch. If the Glass Guard are the elevated status of just general creation soldiers, the Wraith Watch are the elevated status of soldiers amongst Durastian soldiers. There are Reavers and Worm Riders and all sorts of types of units, so to speak. A Reaver is a very feared type of this unit, known for their brutality and lack of empathy.
I'll kind of relay that to the group of us setting up in brief and brutal, no empathy. He's going to try and kill us once he figures out it's an ambush. Is there any sense of, from what we've learned and what I grew up and learned, if it goes like Talon, something, Reaver? Or is there any
you wouldn't know specifically units, but you would think under the king, the 4 Talons are by far and large the commanding generals. Right. They are everything. They are the most feared. The Wraith Watch is a broad umbrella term that implies to many types of individuals under that. And then there's the infantrymen, the knights, the soldiers, general bandits, like all sorts of stuff are the lowest tier. Wraith Watch is an elevated tier. You've also fought an individual at Vitria's side twice. Fought Raz and slayed him, as well as Cormag a different time, and fought them. You imagine their status was probably within the Wraith Watch, though they were not Reavers specifically.
Understood. And I will wait to give that bit of spiel after we handle this.
Okay.
While they're doing this ritual, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pick up and just shove the bodies of these corpses in there and just also kind of loot them for valuables as I do it.
Okay. We'll say those guys are...
What armor are they wearing?
Stashed. All 4 of those, all of the soldiers on this map, all 5 soldiers have sort of rusted, not very well kept chainmail.
Okay.
Functionally heavy armor, AC of 16, but like the basic, most cheap ass heavy armor you can have.
Okay.
You also put together that you're not sure how important Forest Hollow is to the Durastian occupation of Croatia, but who knows if Forest Hollow is being supplied or maintained particularly well. But
oh yeah, I forgot they mentioned that.
I do loot them if there's anything of like generic value.
Go ahead and make a investigation check.
Ooh, It's pretty good for these doidies. 17 plus 7 is 24.
Very good. You're able to, if you want all of their armors, you're welcome to add 5 sets of chainmail to your inventory or bag of holding or something, but that's a lot of weight. As well as a short sword, 5 short swords, and 5 heavy crossbows.
Yeah, I'll make a neat pile so we can load it in the bag later just for value.
Okay. Yeah, just know that that is going to really start to weigh down the bag of holding or fill up its space or something, because that is not a small amount of pounds for 5 short swords, 5 crossbows, and 5 chainmails, which might be like 30 or 40 pounds each. I can't quite remember, so.
We could also just put it in the Dragon's Sword. I think 1 page. I mean, anyway, it's not that valuable, but
that's true too. Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, we'll kind of functionally say all the Jurassian soldiers have been stashed, and Jiri is disguised as a Jurassian soldier, armed with some helpful information from Toby. And we'll probably pick up right from here when we pick back up to see who arrives, if people arrive, what sort of happens next.
Cool.